KMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sactown Sports.
It's time. It is that time. Time for Stiles and Watkins.
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140. Find us on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140.
It's time for Alan Stiles and Chris Watkins.
Yes. On a Friday, Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. The Kings taking on the defending champs. Got Kyle Ledbetter back here. Kyle's been a little bit. It's good to see you, man.
Hi, I'm doing wonderful, and I'm really glad that I'm back with you guys.
There you go.
Happy Friday.
There you go. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to all the listeners. Happy Friday to the YouTube chat. Happy Friday to the texters, the callers, the future texters and callers as we talk about the Kings taking on the defending champs, taking on the Niners taking on the Eagles, who were the runner-ups to the Super Bowl, the Cowboys beating the Seahawks, and Shohei coming to the Bay. Chris Watkins, Happy Friday, my guy. How are you doing?
Great. Yeah, Dave laid it out in the crosstalk, but it's a great weekend heading up, and excited to digest all the action. I mean, I'm not like the biggest college football guy, but
yeah,
definitely when you get to championship weekend, like that's must-see TV. And when you have the defending champs in town as well, it's going to be an exciting weekend. And then, you get the Niners Eagles as well. So can't complain.
You? I know I keep giving you a hard time about March Madness, but you would say you are more okay. You more excited for championship weekend or March Madness?
When March Madness comes, definitely March.
Okay.
Madness. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Even
so we got a baseline.
Still, yeah.
What about bowl season? Because I'm one of those guys where you have that, depending on where you work, sometimes you get days off, right?
Right.
And I'll watch a random bowl. I'll watch the Heineke. I'm just looking at stuff around here. The Heineke Woodpecker Bowl. Like I'll watch random stuff. I don't know. I saw wood. I saw wood in here.
You're looking around.
Is Taylor Heineke sponsoring a bowl game?
Yeah,
the Taylor Heineke jersey.
The Nicolas Cage pillow, blue chair, De'Aaron Fox King Bowl. I'll watch that.
There you go.
I'll watch it. I don't know why, but I'll watch.
Either. Yeah, no, I mean, I pretty much stick to primarily big bowls. Like if it's not one of your classic traditional Orange Bowl, Rose Bowl, and then, the playoff games, of course, I'll be tuned into. But yeah, I've never really been much of a tune in to see 2 7-5 teams play a game for pride, essentially.
Right. So I have I guess a funny thing that kind of came across my social media path, and it actually was one of his funnier takes from our guy Nick Wright. And what he said was he went on Mina Kimes' show, and this was during Thanksgiving, and basically Mina asked him the Thanksgiving. We had multiple people on that Wednesday. Anybody we had on, hey, you like this? What's your Thanksgiving take? Blah 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 blah.
Right.
Nick Wright comes back at Mina and says, this is the worst thing about sports talk. Why do we do this? Nobody cares. Why do we feel a need to do this?
To talk about Thanksgiving?
To talk about what you like. I guess it's just so basic.
The worst part of sports talk is when we have to actually talk like real humans.
Be humans. But surprisingly, people thought it was funny. People kind of felt him and said, hey, you don't have to do it, and everybody does it, and it's a bit basic. So where I'm going with this is when bowl season comes up, and if we were to do the classic, I'm going to name different names. Is this a real bowl or not?
Of course.
That's funny to me, but now I don't want people like Nick Wright to say that's just bad. That's just lazy sports talk.
No.
Can we do it?
That's great. No, I would almost guarantee that Jason Ross already has that set up for a Friday Fun and Games. There's no way. I mean,
Chris Watkins is good with a thumbs up.
There's no way, right? Like that has to be a staple of Friday Fun and Games. So
okay,
I'm gonna allow it.
I got a little self-conscious. I'm like, man, Nick Wright, I thought we did it nice, right?
That's a game we've had for probably about 5 to 6 years going.
Great, because I was just like, man, I thought me and Chris, we talked about stuffing and turkey. I thought it was good stuff. What's up, Kyle?
Real quick, how about the avocados from Mexico Cure Bowl?
Real or fake?
Yeah.
Well, you're reading it, so I think it's real.
Yeah, that's fair.
Kyle, save it for bowl season. We can't go too soon.
Yeah, shout out to the Bad Boy Mowers Gasparilla Bowl.
That's the one. That's the one.
That
and
has
then
to be fake.
what's the one? No, that's real.
No, I know.
There's also
Unfortunate.
Cheribundi Tart Cherry, I think Boca Raton Bowl.
Because I don't know if if the names are out yet. Because what happens is it's the beginning. That's all that changes, right? It's the sponsor name.
Yes,
that's
the
all that
title
changes,
sponsor.
right? And they get, depending on the year, is whether they're funny or not.
I also need to apologize to you because I made fun of you for saying the Taylor Heineke Bowl.
Yeah.
There's one that's actually just called the LA Bowl, hosted by Gronk.
No way. You know what?
LA Bowl.
That brings up a good point, because I didn't say this to anybody when it happened. I was trying to think, should I text Chris or one of my buddies? And it happened so fast. Did we all get duped by Gronk? He's on what? Is it Fox, right?
Yes, I believe so, yeah.
And it's really interesting to me who can, I guess, pull off like, I'm a dopey frat boy, but now all of a sudden you're going to pay me millions and I'm going to speak well and know the game. And was it all a front? Is that, we talk about as minorities, I guess, code switching? Was Gronk code switching this whole time?
He's a commercial spokesperson.
Who is the real Gronkowski?
Yeah, I think it is a bit of code switching. I definitely think that he's been playing us for a full. He was doing it a little bit too well for it to all be fake, but definitely seems like the dude has been kind of Kyle, you might know a little bit more about this, but I kind of feel like it's a little bit like Kawhi, where it's like he has this
played into the bit
he's
a bit.
Just playing into the bit, and it's now just kind of become his thing.
He's also like 34 years old and his body is broken, so like I think
you got to figure it out now. It's not cute anymore. So
that USAA money hits different,
right? Well, what I'm imagining, but he still kind of acts dopey in those commercials.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to be in USAA, and they're like, you can't. You're not a veteran. And
but when
mom wasn't a veteran.
When he was in his 20s, though, he was doing like Dunkin' Donuts commercials where he's like on a party boat. Like the evolution is.
But what I'm imagining in my mind is that Gronk's agent, they have this conversation. Hey, you're done. You want to keep this money rolling, and the agent starts making calls, and I believe it is Fox. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Calls up Fox and hey. We want Gronk to see, we want to, you have an opening for an analyst job. Let's see if Gronk can do it. And I'm imagining Fox is cracking up, right? Like,
they're like,
what is this?
They're first off, they're like, you really think we could slide one more chair into
those big dudes? No. And
they still do.
They still do. Well, they stand most of the time now. And Gronk is, comes in for the audition, and whoever is running Fox is just, all right, let's get this over with.
Yeah.
He's Gronk. Maybe we can do a fun segment with him. And then he just sounds normal and intelligent. And the people at Fox were probably just extremely confused. That's why it looks like there are too many. They weren't planning on adding Gronk. They thought they were just being nice to the agent. And then all of a sudden, Gronk sounds like
this
a
guy's
normal
better
human.
Than Terry Bradshaw, right?
Yeah, get him in there.
Peyton used to be on that show too.
Yeah, so I don't know how we got here, but it was so funny to me when I was watching I think it was during our little mini Thanksgiving break.
Yeah.
I thought, did Gronk just finesse everyone into just being Van Wilder
he's not a bad analyst.
No,
I think that's the point. Like, it's like I hear him talking. I'm like, this isn't just like some frat dude or some guy who just played football and knows it. Like, he actually sounds really good at the job.
Yeah, and I don't know if he has a podcast or not.
Oh, that's next. Yeah, for sure.
But if not,
him and Draymond seem like they would.
Oh no, I can't do that. I can't do that. We will have some conversation about Draymond and Klay Thompson and Steph Curry last night being 11, 30, 23. Where do they rank amongst the best trios in the game, in the history of the game? Where do they rank? We will talk Hassan Reddick talking about the boo-hoos from the Niners and what the Niners are going to do when they go to Philly. And I'm just hoping that there are no fan issues. As much as we've been talking about Russell Westbrook and the athlete fan thing, fan on fan crime is never cool. No. We make a living talking about sports, but ultimately y'all don't know them. They don't know you. And now you caught a case. Right. Now you caught a case, right? You've lost your job now because you want to be an idiot.
Yep.
So I don't know if there are any double agents from Philly listening right now, but just try to keep it cute. Try to keep it somewhat cute. We don't need it.
No, I mean, that's by far the worst part about sports to me. Like, we all know there's a line. Like, no one's saying don't trash talk or anything like that. That's part of the game. But, you can't even go to a Kings Lakers or a Kings Warriors game without seeing a couple fans get into it. And I don't know. It's never made any sense to me. I don't know why. I mean, I obviously care a ton about sports as I've tried to make my living here, but like, I've never been one to let a sports team ruin my life like that. Like you're saying, like you could really mess up everything that you have going for you just because you get into some fight because somebody said Domantas Sabonis sucks.
Right, about somebody who does not know you.
Yeah.
And wouldn't even say, hey, thanks for if you said, hey, let's say you meet Domantas Sabonis in the future and you say, hey man, I just want to let you know I had your back. I did 2 months in juvie. I did 2 months. I did 2 months jail because somebody protecting your honor. He'd probably say security. Yeah. He'd probably say, security, please get him away from me. All right, got to get to a break.
Criminal.
Yeah, we got to get to a break. I do have a story about when I had to calm down my fandom. I had to calm that down. It was a rough day for me. Is it a must-win for the Kings tomorrow night? Is it a must-win for the Niners this weekend? Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division title, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
Light the world with the giving machines. Experience the joy of giving this season and helping those in need. Now through December 10th at the Galleria Mall in Roseville.
Live and local, it's Stiles and Watkins. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. And it's funny, Kyle coming back with Mr. Meek Mill from North Philly, because that's where the Niners are headed. There is so much to talk about. We will not be talking about Colin Cowherd and backward hats today, even though that was a great segment yesterday. Good. We will not be talking about Colin Cowherd and backward hats. Speaking of Philly, Jason Dumas will be joining us at 1 p.m. He is a sports director for KRON, Cron 4 News in the Bay Area. But he is from Philadelphia, so his fandom versus who he covers. It's going to be a fun conversation. You don't want to miss that as we break down everything Niners, Eagles, and also Kings. So quickly, my story.
Yes.
So I'm in the Bay Area, and my dad is the ultimate troll, right? So dad.
That's where you get it from.
Oh, yeah. But
yeah.
Actually, I never really thought about it like that. So my dad, he's the guy who you're in the Bay Area. Everybody knows that friend. And in Sacramento, everybody knows that friend who doesn't like the Kings because everybody likes the Kings.
Yes, of course.
My dad worked in the Bay Area, works in the Bay Area, cannot stand the Warriors, right? He's from the old school. He's from Chicago, grew up with MJ. He loves a dunker, right? He's the guy who, when Russell Westbrook was in his heyday, I'll take Russell over Steph. I'll take any point guard over Steph that can dunk.
That was a losing battle for a long time.
Yeah. So 2016, I'm in the Bay Area. All my friends are cheering on the Warriors, and it's 2016. So, and if you remember correctly, that Game 7 was on Father's Day. So I'm like, hey, Dad, come on out. It's Oakland. I'm in Oakland. Come on out. They were still in Oracle at that point, so come on out in Oakland. It'll be a good time. And he's just poking the bear. And we had plans. He was supposed to hang out after. Long story short, I said, dude, I can't do this anymore. He's just, no, LeBron. And he's not, he likes LeBron, but he's not a Cavs fan. Right. Nothing like that. He's just poking the bear all over
he's just trying to
the
get
area that we're playing. And it worked correctly. And after that, I looked myself in the mirror and I said, way too invested. Too invested, and it changed everything for me. And that was good for me because if that's the worst it got, I got out early. But just remember, people, just keep it cute. That's all I gotta say. But hopefully the Kings don't necessarily keep it cute. Hopefully they get down and dirty this weekend, tomorrow, against the Nuggets, because the Nuggets aren't messing around. And we're gonna talk a little bit later about the Nuggets and the possibility of them being a dynasty. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to ask you this, and we're going to set this up like this. You have the Nuggets who will be coming off a back-to-back.
Yep.
We're trying to confirm, but for those who didn't know, Jamal Murray in his first game back from the hamstring injury rolled his ankle. Mm-hmm. Now, as far as I know, I believe he finished. He had 30-something minutes, so I believe he finished. And he was asked about it, and he said, hopefully we'll be good soon. That's what he said. That was the quote. So trying to figure out if Jamal Murray is going to play tonight, right? And then if he doesn't play tonight, is he more likely to play tomorrow? If he plays tonight, is he more likely to play tomorrow? Whatever it is. So you're coming off a back-to-back in Phoenix, right? The Nuggets will be. Then you got to fly out to Sacramento to take on the Kings, who are coming off 3 days west.
Yep.
Chris Watkins.
Yes, sir.
Is tomorrow a must-win for the Kings?
No, I wouldn't say it's a must-win. When you have a tough opponent like Denver, I think it's before the game happens, I can say it's excusable. It makes sense on paper to lose to them.
You want to see the game happen.
I would like to see the game happen before I say there could be, if the Kings just don't show up, of course that's going to be a problem. But when you're facing the defending champs, of course they are, we've made so much about the back-to-backs this week, and of course they're coming off a back-to-back. So you would ideally, of course, like to take that game, and you feel like you have the advantage to take that game, but it's not the end-all be-all. The Nuggets can still, like we said, there's nothing that says just because you're on the second night of a back-to-back that you have to lose. You don't start 10 points down or anything like that. So, there's definitely a very real possibility that, we're expecting maybe a little bit of an injured Nuggets team, or a team that's at least not at 100%. Doesn't mean that the Kings aren't going to possibly blow that game. So no, I wouldn't say it's a must win, but it would be obviously a great win. If you're gonna have a disappointing performance against the Clippers and a potentially disappointing game against the Warriors, which turned into maybe the most emotionally high game of the season, I think that's fine to go 2-1 in that. Obviously, it's great to go 2-1 in that stretch, but I also think it's okay to go 1-2. Like that's a really tough stretch of teams. And I just don't feel like it's one of those things where if the Kings lose on Monday, we should be, even more concerned than we are now.
Yeah. Well, number one, you're saying if you lose, it better be a good game. Right.
For sure.
You can't get
always.
They've already had enough blowouts. You cannot, don't want to stack those up. So,
and as you said, 3 days rest as well. Like
that would be
no
ridiculous. Yeah. That would be absurd. And you can't get Reggie Jackson if Jamal Murray doesn't play. So I understand what you're saying from the standpoint of you got to see this all play out.
Yep.
But what I will, I guess, counter with is just everything that the Nuggets are dealing with right now. And if you are, it's not a must win the same way playing who's a bad team right now. The Blazers. The Blazers. It's not a must win like you're playing the Blazers.
The Pistons. The no win November.
Right.
Pistons.
No win November, no shave November. That's what the Pistons, they better try something. So it's not the same in that regard, but if you're going to get a win against the Nuggets, you would think it's going to, because you're at home, you don't got to go to the elevation.
No.
So even if the Nuggets were coming off a back-to-back at home,
right,
they're in your house. And again, Mike Brown has talked about protecting your house.
Huge.
So you got to think that they won't say it. And again, it is only 1 of 82, but you have to feel like you're going to win that. Like you need to win this game.
No, yeah, they need to have some a little bit of urgency. I think that's more what it is. I wouldn't say it's a must win, but I would say it's a game that you must have some urgency in because of, like you were saying, like all the advantages that you have going into that game. You just need to be able to pounce on that opportunity. And if you don't, if you let the Nuggets stay in it, regardless of whether Jamal Murray's playing or not, you don't want Jokic to be in a situation where he can orchestrate a close win and just kind of sneak out there with the victory. Because I'm sure that's what Denver's hoping for. I think we look at this from the Kings perspective, looking at it from the Denver perspective. They're looking at playing two of the tougher teams in the Western Conference. I'm sure they're thinking much like what Kings fans would be thinking. Let's just try and go 1-1. And so there's an opportunity where if they beat Phoenix on Friday, regardless of Murray playing or not, if the Kings get out to an early enough start, maybe Denver does just kind of say, look, we got our win on this road trip.
Right.
If the Kings are up 20, 25, they might not, really go full tilt, full effort, or they might, it might be similar to what we saw with the Kings against the Clippers on Wednesday, where if the Kings get a big enough lead, Denver might not just have the energy to make that comeback. So hop on that opportunity as early as possible. I feel like that's what we say every week or every game. But yeah, if the Kings can get off to a good start and pretty much take Denver out of the game early, I feel like that's the best course of action. That's what I would ideally like to see on Saturday.
916-339-1140. I will alter the question.
Sure.
If Jamal Murray doesn't play, is it a must win?
Yeah, because you got to, again, you just have to take advantage. You have to take advantage. They have too many things working against Denver has too many things working against them for you to allow them to do it. And they already got their Reggie Jackson game, right? Like they already got that ridiculous performance. Again. Yeah, you can't allow Reggie Jackson to have himself a week. Like, he already had his 35-point game or whatever it was against, who was that against? We both watched that game earlier this week, the Clippers. Thank you. You can't let him do that again. No way. No way. That should be a once a year thing.
Ain't no way.
There's no way.
Can't happen.
Yeah, geez. Just watching that, I feel like that performance that the Nuggets put against the Clippers that night just feels like a performance that typically would have been against the Kings. Like a 35-13 from Reggie Jackson. I think a 21-13 performance out of DeAndre Jordan.
That is insane.
In the year 2023.
Yes. Either a game against the Kings or a team that has Rudy Gobert.
Yes. Yeah. And I think you look at that game and you got to remind yourself that Jokic did not play. Right?
Did not play.
I mean, because that is the most fascinating thing to me. And now the Clippers, we'll talk about them as well. Them coming off the back-to-back definitely did not look like they had the same juice for the Warriors that they had for the Kings. And that is the vicious cycle of the back-to-back.
Another reason why the Kings should take advantage.
Because everybody's going to be put in the good situation of the back-to-backs and the bad situation of the back-to-backs. Switching over to the Niners, taking on the Eagles, of course. Would you call this a must-win for the Niners?
I kind of think so. I think, like, in terms of like a building confidence thing, Niners have done their fair share of talking about this rivalry or this matchup, whatever you want to call it. They've made their point known that they feel like, hey, if Brock plays, I don't know if they've said we feel like we would have definitely won, but they obviously feel like they would have had a significantly better chance. And so you got to go out there and show it. Like, you can't talk all this mess about, just if we had Brock, you should have seen. Well, if y'all go out there on Sunday and for whatever reason get blown out by 20, like, you don't really have anything else to say. And it feels like if you meet up against the Eagles again in the postseason, you're not going to have that same fire, that same passion. Of course, you're going to want some get back, but it's not going to you're not going to have those same emotions of feeling like we have these guys. Like, I think the Niners truly at this moment in time feel like they're going to try and right a wrong that was done to them last season.
Yeah.
I think if they lose to Philly this weekend, they're just never going to have that obviously they're still going to feel like they can win the game, but you're not going to have that thing fueling you that makes you dig just a little bit deeper.
Right. And I think the difference is that the game is in Philly again, right? Which I'm a little bit surprised that the NFL did it this way. because I was going to say, if I'm Philly, would you sacrifice, if you feel confident enough, not to say you would sacrifice the game, but I'm not, if the Niners are rolling here, I'm not going to open up my playbook and show the whole NFL world what we can do to try to get back in this just to beat this team, because we still would be above them in terms of we still control our destiny in terms of the first seed, and we can still make the playoffs run through Philly. Yeah. But at the same time, you probably do want to hold it over their head. And if you do keep rolling, nobody wants to lose. And if you do keep rolling, then the Niners have to come back again, and it's the Niners seeing nightmares because you just haven't been able to get it done. You're seeing ghosts.
Yeah, you know, feel like that place is haunted.
Well, you got Sam Darnold on the team, so hopefully he didn't bring the ghost with him. So I think that there are reasons to go for it. You have to go for it if you're the Niners, without a doubt. I think there are reasons for the Eagles to go for it, but I also think there are reasons for the Eagles to see how it plays out and say, hey, if you got to come back again, we're 1-1 here against you. And I guess the Niners would now have the momentum. Well, we won when we had our QB, but ultimately the Eagles are a dang good team, and it's going to be tough either way. Got to get to a break. We will talk about some of the trash talk that has happened throughout the time since the playoff game in Philly happened, with Hassan Reddick, T for Temple U, A.J. Brown as well, and D-Bo. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
If the lights in your home flicker whenever you plug in the toaster, or the breaker flips when you use the microwave, let us fix that. Bonnie's offering a free electrical panel inspection, so you'll know exactly what's going on. Bonnie, plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This is the moment you've been waiting for. Hanley's Kia in Davis is bringing you an unbeatable deal on all 2024 Kia models. Drive home in style without breaking the bank. Introducing Hanley's Kia incredible leasing option for just $199 a month. Picture yourself behind the wheel of a brand new 2024 Kia, loaded with the latest features and cutting-edge technology. Whether it's the sleek Niro Hybrid with 54 mpg and EV6 with up to 310 miles, the versatile Sportage, or the family-friendly Telluride. At Hanley's Kia, you can also reserve your luxurious full-size EV9 with 3 rows that has the comfort of a stylish interior and the peace of mind that comes with driving a brand you can trust. Head over to Hanley's Kia today, located in Davis.
New 2024 Kia Niro Hybrid EX for $199 per month for 36 months after $7,999 customer cash due at signing plus $300 military customer rebate. 10,000 miles per year and 20 cents per mile after 30,000 miles based on sale price $30,545 and payment excludes taxes and DMV fees and any dealer fees. Vehicle ID number R5136138.
Winter is coming. I know you know that, but are you prepared to keep your family warm all season long? At American Energy Heating and Air, their goal is to exceed your expectations of the heating and air industry by valuing the customer experience and making your home comfort system as efficient as possible for the most value. So book your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. Prevent dangerous gas leaks. Extend the life of that furnace and save on your energy bills. And here's the guarantee. This isn't a sales call. They're not getting in the door so they can try to sell you a bunch of stuff. No, they're just going to do what they say they're going to do. Call today to schedule an appointment at 916-520-9990 or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Get your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. 916-520-9990. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
A couple of weeks ago, I had the honor to enjoy a conversation with PGA Tour player and U.S. Open winner Jim Furyk, who's also the first to shoot 58 in a PGA Tour event. We talked about junior golf, his experiences on tour, and plans for the future. He also revealed his commitment to a new golf shoe manufactured by Boxto Golf. I took notice because when a person makes his living playing golf, he looks for advantages in preparation, equipment, and certainly his shoes, which are the only contact with the ground. Boxto is a premium brand specializing in handcrafted leather golf shoes designed for players who demand quality, style, and performance. With full-grain leather upper and soft leather linings, the shoes offer unmatched comfort. They're a perfect blend of classic style and modern design. If Boxto Legacy golf shoes and belts are good enough for Jim Furyk, they're good enough for me. Learn more at boxtogolf.com. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Sacramento has a new tag team in the midday. It's Stiles and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. We will be joined by Jason Dumas, sports director for Cron 4 News. Also does some hosting at 95.7 The Game in the Bay at 1 p.m. And he's from Philly. So we're going to talk cheesesteaks. Favorite place to get a cheesesteak. We're talking about MVP's steak. That doesn't work. Word's close enough. Chris Watkins, you said you're just chilling this weekend?
Yeah, big chilling. Gotta watch someone's dog tomorrow because they watched our dog as we were gone for Thanksgiving. So I got to return the favor tomorrow. Then I'm gonna go to that Kings Nuggets game tomorrow night, and then Sunday's reserved for football. So just gonna be sitting on the couch all Sunday long.
When we talk about, I guess, large markets and the respect and the cachet. Dave asked us during the crossover, what were you more pumped for, the Pelicans or the Nuggets? And Dave kind of framed it when we both said Pelicans as the in-season tournament. Although I think that's true, I know the Warriors is not really fair because the Warriors are the Warriors. But if the NBA champion was someone else, dare I say the Lakers, and I know Kings have a past with the Lakers, I guess what I'm trying to say is even though they're the champs,
they just don't bring that fire.
Does it feel like it?
No, you know what's really funny? When you said the defending champs, the Kings play the defending champs this weekend, my mind instantly went Golden State. And then I was like, oh, wait, no, you're talking about the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like, I mean, I have no idea why, but yeah, it doesn't feel like they carry, I guess, that same respect. And it's funny because last year they didn't get respect either until they did, until really the finals. So yeah, I mean, it's really interesting. It's interesting how the Nuggets for some could argue 3 to 4 years now have been the best team in the Western Conference, and yet still nobody fears them, which is interesting because they're a really good team, and you could definitely make a very easy argument that Nikola Jokic is the best player in the NBA, and number 2's not particularly close.
If the Celtics had, because I think the Heat would suffer from the same thing. But let's say the Celtics won it all last season, or even the Bucks, right? And Dave asked us that same question.
Yeah.
It might still be the Pelicans, but it would be much closer.
I think,
if the Celtics came to town Saturday and they're the defending champs, I think we might be more excited for tomorrow's game. And I don't know if it's a matter of market or honestly, because I'm talking about Milwaukee here. Yeah. I don't know if it's a matter of market or just gameplay. Right, how Jokic plays and Jamal Murray is that tier 2, maybe tier 1B point guard, the star power. They lost some, not that they lost star power, but Michael Porter Jr. So I think it's a funny way to look at it because they are the defending champs, and I think it helps the in-season tournament that the Nuggets are the defending champs because I'm more excited about the Pelicans game too, and the Pelicans are kind of rolling.
Yeah, no, they're killing. I mean, especially when Zion plays. Zion was perfect the other game. I saw he was 11 of 11
away, and they
11 of 12.
Him.
That's right. Yeah, he was 11 of 12, finished with 33 points. That dude's on a roll. Like if he plays, and now they got CJ back, and I saw CJ scored 20 in his return to play after his second collapsed lung, which is just
little scary.
Terrible.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's a really scary team. It's more the Denver thing is honestly more just it might just be Kings specific, but I feel like the Kings actually match up pretty well with Denver. Like we've seen Sabonis and Jokic match up a couple times now, and they kind of, for the most part, cancel each other out, as crazy as that is. Like Jokic clearly is going to put up more numbers, and he's a much bigger physical, imposing presence. But Sabonis has done a really good job of making his life difficult and still doesn't really struggle offensively like we've seen him struggle here recently when he matches up against Jokic. So I actually kind of feel like if you're calling that a virtual cross off of Jokic and Sabonis, you take the rest of the teams and put them side by side. I actually kind of give the advantage to the Kings in a weird way. So I don't, and yeah, maybe that's where the lack of fear stems from. But yeah, it just feels like New Orleans is a much worse and frankly a scarier matchup for the Kings.
You already lost to him twice.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And Jamal Murray, even if he plays, I know we talked about whether it's a must win if Jamal Murray plays or not, but even if he plays, he will not be 100%.
Right.
We know that.
De'Aaron will be a better player than Jamal Murray on that day, more than likely.
Exactly. So yeah, the Kings got to come with it. Switching back over to the Niners, who also have to come with it this weekend in Philadelphia. Things are getting a little bit spicy. So to set this all up for you and how it all went, Debo had some things to say initially when the Niners lost about, hey, if we had Purdy and this and that. Then Debo goes on Zach Gelb's show, right? He goes on the show and he's asked about it. And Zach, also T for Temple U, got spicy, not even got spicy with Debo, just asked him about it. And Debo, this is where it all kind of started taking off. Debo was not happy about that.
I saw what you said about the Eagles back at the Super Bowl at Sirius, where if Brock Purdy didn't get hurt, you guys would have won that game by double digits. Why would that have been the case?
I don't know. That's old.
So do you not still believe that?
I mean, I do, but I mean, we're not. That shit is like we're not gonna keep talking about it. I mean, I said what I said.
Gotcha. So then, what happens this year when you play Philly on December 3rd?
I don't know. Just wait till week 13, 12, whatever week it is. We'll show you.
Well, then you know how that's gonna go down. You're going into Philadelphia. Those fans are gonna be booing you loud. You have a message for Eagles fans?
Hey guys.
Yeah.
All right, we're good to go.
What do you mean? We have Debo on right now.
Yeah, I know, but we're going to head into camp right now.
Are you serious? Okay. Thank you.
We're good to go.
We're good to go.
We're good
He's
to
like,
go.
Wait, no, we're already going.
Yeah. We're
like,
going.
what do you mean?
And that was during the summer. I think it was Debo's training camp had not started yet. So it was, they claimed it was Debo's his own wide receiver camp or something. He didn't really have anywhere to go, was the point. And Debo just said,
he just dipped. He said, these questions are getting.
No, we're out of here. And now, most recently, Hassan Reddick, T for Temple U, also had some things to say. And this was this past week, about the crying that the Niners have been doing.
You know, as this season been going on, not much. Talk is cheap. You know, they get to come back in the link. It was a lot of boo-hoos last year, a lot of crying, a lot of what if, a lot of this, a lot of that. They get a chance to come back in here, line that up, and prove it again.
Yep.
Well, there you go.
There you go. That's really as cut and dry, as simple as it gets. You know, y'all want to complain, you want to cry, you want to make this big deal of we had it. Y'all, ooh, you don't even know what y'all were in
lucky,
for.
Though.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, you gotta back all that up now.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like, that's why it's a lot more important for the Niners to win this. Definitely, the Eagles could use this win absolutely with all the fraud talk and the winning close games and haven't really shown a dominant performance. The Eagles could definitely use this win.
Yeah,
but it feels like the Niners have put so much emphasis into this game. Oh no, you guys didn't get to see last year, but we're actually the best team in the NFC. Got to go show it. You got to go show it. And, you know, this is, you know, it's not the end all be all, because these teams probably, my money is on them to play again in the playoffs. But this feels like the Niners, if you got all that talking heading into this game, you just, next time y'all play, it's got to be straight business. Like, you can't talk anymore after this game. If you don't win it.
And there's so many parallels between, honestly, the Kings and the Warriors. A little bit different, right? I would say apples and pears, not apples and oranges, because it's a mental thing, right? Obviously, seeding matters, but this is more about the Niners thinking, hey, because I don't think the Eagles don't really care. It was a playoff game.
They're like,
I don't think they think we need to prove we can beat them with Brock Purdy. No, we won the game.
Yep.
And that's how it goes.
Too.
And we almost won the Super Bowl, right? If they had gotten blasted in the Super Bowl, maybe the Niners would have an argument. But they were right there, and the Jalen fumble, you know, whatever you want to call it. So the Eagles definitely proved that they should have been there. So I think this is much more on the Niners. I think the Eagles know that. And if you listen to what Hassan Reddick said, if they come in and win, Hassan Reddick is just going to say, cool, they won. It's not like he's saying they shouldn't have won or they're off base. He's just saying they keep talking. We're going to go out there. We're going to see what happens. Yeah, exactly. It was the most logical trash talk I've ever heard in my life.
That's the best kind to me, because you're not being, you know, what Draymond say? Insecurities speak loud. Yeah, like that's usually how it goes. You know, if you're going to be trash talking, it's usually because you're kind of trying to compensate. I mean, sometimes it is to try and, you know, instill fear, but a lot of time that stuff is because you kind of feel like you're a little bit nervous yourself and you're trying to get into the opponent's head. So I mean, I love it. Hassan is just like, come in here and do it. Show us. And that's what the Niners got to do. I mean,
talk is cheap.
To their credit, the Niners have definitely shown up on opponent. I mean, I think of that Dallas game. There was a lot of similar talk of, okay, y'all want to talk big game, go out there and show it on a big stage. And Niners killed Dallas. Not that it seems like the Eagles are a little bit at a different tier than Dallas is, but man, I mean, it's a similar opportunity, and it's not going to be easy going into the link, especially. I mean, I don't think the weather's going to be too big of a factor. It seems it might rain.
Morning,
but they said,
as of this morning, you keep seeing different reports. As of this morning, 90% chance of rain.
Right.
Now, how hard that rain is going to be is ultimately the question.
Brock's tiny hands.
Oh, don't start.
He'll whittle guy.
You better show up, because not Brock himself. You need to turn that hat around. I'm joking, by the way.
Get serious.
If you didn't get that reference, I am joking. Colin Cowherd had a lot to say about Brock Purdy's backwards hat.
Come on.
Turn that hat around. Yeah. Be a professional.
Reverse catch him.
Exactly. Turn it around, and it's time to get down. All right. Got to get to a break. When we get back, brought up Draymond last night, 11:30-23. Where do the big three from the Warriors rank? Best trio of all time. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Two of the best the NFL and NFC has to offer meet Sunday in Philadelphia.
Purdy out of the shotgun, looks left, throws end zone. Caught! George Kittle in the back of the end zone.
It's the Philadelphia Eagles, owners of the top spot in the NFC, versus the San Francisco 49ers, who have had this game circled on their calendar for months. Join Greg Papa and Tim Ryan for all the exciting action Sunday at 1 on your home for 49ers football, Sactown Sports.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-775-5622. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-775-5622. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-775-5622. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for by Cars R Us and Find the Children.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No. We tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our client's best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
Boost Mobile is giving families the holiday gift they really want. When you switch to Boost, get an iPhone 11 for only $49.99 or free Samsung Galaxy A23. You'll get amazing service too, because only Boost switches between the top networks to give you the best service. So stop by a Boost Mobile store and give the gift of Boost. That's an iPhone 11 for $49.99 or free Samsung Galaxy A23. Get yours at a Boost Mobile store today. Visit boostmobile.com for details. New customers and in-store only. Requires auto pay and ID verification. Other restrictions apply. See participating dealers for details.
Jessica, this is the happiest day of my life. Right up there with the day I bought my RV and insured it with Progressive. Man, I love that thing. There are a million fish in the sea, which I'm reminded of every time I bring my RV to the lake, but I vow to love and cherish you just as much as I cherish campsites with full electric and water hookups. I'm so sorry.
Protect your beloved with an RV policy from Progressive. Take as little as 4 minutes to see what you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Yeah, that trailer hitch and folding bed cover from TruckSmart makes road trips a breeze.
Right? I'm so much more organized on the job site since TruckSmart installed my truck rack and toolbox.
And they had it all in stock, so I just waited as they installed everything.
Take a look at this sweet Rhino truck lining. They sprayed it on.
Yeah, you win. That is sweet.
Truck Smart, truck and SUV accessories for on the road and the job site. Stop by one of our 2 locations in Rockland or Auburn. TruckSmart.com. Your truck's gonna love them.
Live and local, it's Stiles and Watkins. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. Our guy Kyle Ledbetter behind the glass, holding it down for us on a Friday. Hopefully everybody has some fun plans, whether you're dog sitting like Chris, or I'm going to an ugly sweater party tomorrow. Well, I'm going to try to go. It's going to be tough.
That's got to be like, it's Christmas themed though, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
Is it just ugly sweater or is it ugly Christmas sweater?
It is, but
any ugly sweater.
Any
You're
ugly
actually
sweater
like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Ugly what? It's like,
Time to break out that Warriors gear. Am I right?
So my first big boy job out of college was working with, this was 2013. So apps hadn't fully taken off yet. So we were still doing a lot of e-shopping was still a term, which crazy enough, it doesn't feel like it, but 2013, it was, we weren't fully into apps yet. So I worked at a shop that they had deals with different TV networks, right? So they would basically run the website for Discovery Channel or HBO, right? So then we would sell their stuff. We weren't connected to those places, but we would sell the stuff. So we got a bunch of free merchandise, right? So
sounds great.
It was. It actually was.
I love free merch, free swag.
I had but
I survived all sweet.
But I had the most random stuff, right? So I had Bigfoot socks because Bigfoot's on Discovery Channel, and a Jimmy Fallon mug and a Jimmy Fallon pillow, and I had a bunch of random stuff, and I had a Bigfoot ugly sweater, right? And throughout the years, you move and you think, I've worn this. It might be time. So long story short, I'm out of ugly sweaters. And the party's tomorrow.
Yep.
On top of that, guess where it is? It's in the city, right? So we got to drop off the little one at grandma's, and then we got to go to the city. I still need to find a sweater. So I'm glad that you'll be chilling because
I'll be chilling.
I have a lot to do.
Yeah, that sounds, I can't lie. That sounds like an that really sounds like an obligation. Like you have to do it. Like it sounds that, I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know if are these at least people you like?
Yes,
like, are these
very close friends.
Your wife's friends?
Both of our friends.
Okay.
Both of our friends went to high school together. Okay. We see each other fairly often, but less often as we get older and haven't seen them since the move.
Yeah.
But it's just, I'm just in the process of mentally preparing.
Yeah, for sure. But that's a lot of driving. That's a lot of coordinating too. Yeah, you said you got to drop the kid off.
Yeah.
Like, then you got to think, like, I mean, how good of a time you can have.
Exactly.
We got
to go back and get the kid. We got to stay in the East Bay. And I was out last night getting Christmas lights.
Yeah.
And it did not occur to me to grab a sweater. And I'm just thinking about that on the air right now. And I got
so you're
going to
just pick one up today. You're going to do it on the way home. You just not rock an ugly sweater and just have to be like, ugh.
I have to. I can't be that guy.
Yeah, not that. I mean, I shout out your friends for having a simple enough theme as well.
Right.
I can't stay,
SantaCon, dress
some
up
people,
like a Santa.
It's like,
I'd rather not.
It's like, come on, like, we're gonna do a Gatsby themed party,
Right.
and it's like, okay, well now I got to go.
What do
to
you mean by that?
Evangeline's and go to the costume store and get some, 80s, whatever, 60s gangster outfit.
Yeah.
What is going on? I don't know. I have no idea.
Do you think The Great Gatsby was in the 1960s?
You're tripping if you think I've seen The Great Gatsby movie. So.
But you have seen that gif where he's getting down Leonardo DiCaprio in the dance circle, which is all you really need to know about that movie.
I know it's long.
Disco Great Gatsby would have been excellent.
Disco Great Gatsby. That's the 70s, Kyle.
That's fair.
Mr. Era.
All of a sudden.
Mr. Era. Speaking of eras, the Warriors' Big Three era has been something. I know Sacramento, it's a little bit different out here, but last night was 11-30-23, which I think we all should have known that they were going to win that game. They were missing Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah.
The Clippers were coming off a back-to-back, right? So Klay Thompson, obviously, he got 20. Steph did his thing. Draymond even made a backpack three. So everybody was feeling it.
Everybody contributed yesterday.
Everybody contributed. The Clippers, I don't know what's going on with Paul George. We'll get into the Clippers a little bit later. And I have two sites up right now. And I want you to, I guess, even just asking you, we talked about it a little bit with Dave, where would you rank the Warriors trio, Draymond, Klay, and Steph all time?
Are we saying as individuals, or are we saying like their accomplishments as well?
Their accomplishments
as
a trio.
Totality of everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really tough to not have them towards the top. I kind of jokingly told you like Havlicek, Cowens, and Bill Russell. We won't do those, but there's of course like the Jordan, Pippen, Rodman. You could say Duncan, Manu, and Tony Parker, Bosh, Wade, and LeBron. They're definitely up there. It's just a matter of how it really comes down, frankly, to how much you value Draymond and what you think he brings to that trio as well. Because, it feels like, I don't know. I mean, they're near they're 1, 2, or 3 for sure.
Yeah.
It's too tough to place them, and it's kind of a matter of preference overall, but definitely what they've done it's in all-time category when it comes to guys who have accomplished what they've accomplished. Like you're talking, Larry Bird and Kevin McHale, and and then you have those Laker teams as well with Kareem and Michael Cooper and Michael Thompson and Magic Johnson as well. I probably don't have a good enough grasp on the entire history of the NBA to totally put them, but it feels like they have to be in the top 3 or 4 for sure.
So this was updated in 2023. The Sportster.com, they have the top 20. I'm just going to do the top 5, right? And then I have another one that I'll get to as well. They have Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and James Worthy at 5.
James Worthy, of course. I didn't even
They have
James
them
Worthy.
at 5. They have LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh at 4.
Okay.
They have Steph
Only
Curry.
2 titles, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They have Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond at 3.
Okay.
They have Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman at 2.
Okay.
And they have Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili at 1.
Success-wise, sure, especially like the longevity of what they were able to do, but it feels like, I don't know, like if we're just talking skill, like, because that's factoring in rings and everything like that.
Right.
But if we're just talking as individual basketball players, I don't know. It's really tough.
That's a tough one.
Really, really tough.
It
feels like a style. You just got to pick your style.
Right.
to
The
me.
only person.
How about KD? Does KD not
Let me get there.
Let
me get there.
To me, obviously KD, Steph, and Klay is.
But that's
much
not
better
11. That's not 11-30-23 though.
It's not. By the way, wet blanket for a second. I cannot stand when people make these dates into something.
It doesn't even happen.
May the 4th be with you.
This is the only time in history it would happen.
Sacramento Day is 9/16
But
day.
this isn't every year. This is a once in a lifetime.
There was November 30th, 1923. That's still, it'll happen once every 100 years.
Right. Maybe they could still be hooping the way you never know. Okay, so the Bet MGM has the top 5 trios of all time.
Okay.
They have Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman at number 1.
Yep.
Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili at number 2.
Okay.
Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish at number 3. LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh at number 4, and Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Kevin Durant at number 5. They don't even have Draymond in it.
That's tripping. I mean, talent-wise, KD, Steph, and Klay are number 1, and it's not even close. I mean, to have 2, I mean, we'll downgrade KD. We'll say like 2 top 15, 20 players of all time. I don't know if anybody's had that point blank. I mean, you could say Magic and Kareem, I guess.
Only 2 rings, I guess.
Yeah, the 2 rings is the only reason why people have them, why people wouldn't have them higher.
I don't know, to be completely honest with you, I don't know how that trio, if we're talking about rings, how is that trio below LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh?
It shouldn't be. It definitely shouldn't be. That's for
sure.
sure.
You put Ray Allen in there. That's the only way they got that second one.
No, absolutely. There's no way. I mean, they're probably going to say the fact that, the LeBron, the Heatles went 2 more finals. But I personally would much rather have the KD, Klay, and Steph trio over. I would seriously take that trio all time over probably anybody. I really would. Like, I really think if we're doing like a 2K all time tournament,
that's who you.
I really think those. I mean, Magic, Kareem, and Worthy definitely have a shout, but I'm going to take the modern era, and I just think it would be impossible. Like, also those 3 guys, you can put them together. Like, they play off each other so well. I got those guys.
There you go. There you go. All right, got to get to a break. I think I got them too, by the way. I got to say my piece. Got to get to a break. When we get back, are you buying the Nuggets as a potential dynasty? Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
It's that time of year again. Sactown Sports is welcoming Santa back to town for the 40th annual Santa Parade, Saturday, December 9th in downtown Sacramento. Grab the family and join us as we celebrate Santa's arrival with marching bands, superheroes, cheer squads, and more. Parade starts at 10 a.m. at 14th and N.
We'll see you Saturday, December 9th in downtown for the Santa Parade with Shriners Children's Northern California, California National Guard, and Attic Man Heating and Air Conditioning. Get more information at SactownSports.com.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Holidays at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
Boost Mobile is giving families the holiday gift they really want. When you switch to Boost, get an iPhone 11 for only $49.99 or free Samsung Galaxy A23. You'll get amazing service too, because only Boost switches between the top networks to give you the best service. So stop by a Boost Mobile store and give the gift of Boost. That's an iPhone 11 for $49.99 or free Samsung Galaxy A23. Get yours at a Boost Mobile store today. Visit boostmobile.com for details. New customers and in-store only. Requires auto pay and ID verification. Other restrictions apply. See participating dealers for details.
Jessica, this is the happiest day of my life. Right up there with the day I bought my RV and insured it with Progressive. Man, I love that thing. There are a million fish in the sea, which I'm reminded of every time I bring my RV to the lake, but I vow to love and cherish you just as much as I cherish campsites with full electric and water hookups. I'm so sorry.
Protect your beloved with an RV policy from Progressive. Take as little as 4 minutes to see what you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
The 49ers Report, brought to you by EB Stone. EB Stone, for the life of your garden. The 49ers feasted on Seattle for Thanksgiving, dominating their bitter rivals on the road, 31-13. Running back Christian McCaffrey led the way with 139 scrimmage yards and 2 touchdowns on 24 touches. San Francisco is now 8-3 on the season. The Red and Gold have an extra 3 days rest before heading to Philadelphia for a pivotal NFC rematch with the league leaders Sunday afternoon.
Celebrating over a century as a family-owned business, EB Stone has gathered invaluable insights into nurturing plant growth. Venture into indoor planting with EB Stone's Edna's Best indoor and outdoor potting soil. Watch your little plants flourish into ideal indoor companions for the whole family to relish during the holidays. EB Stone's indoor and outdoor potting soil is a meticulously crafted blend of essential ingredients. Your plants will thrive both indoors and outdoors. Trust EB Stone for the entire lifespan of your garden. Explore more gardening tips, products, and find nearby locations at ebstone.org. Wishing you a season filled with joy and flourishing greenery.
Right now, the sewer system is probably the last thing on your mind. And that's okay, because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. If you have a sewer problem like a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
Live and local, it's Stiles and Watkins. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. Nuggets, the defending champs, coming to town, taking on the Kings. And Chris is incredibly excited.
Incredibly.
Cannot wait to go.
Barely can hold my excitement.
And Nikola Jokic already suffering from a little bit of what LeBron James has suffered from. A lot of people said they didn't want to give him that third MVP, even though the numbers looked like it. When you talk about De'Aaron Fox, Jokic that year, what were they? When they lost to the Warriors, when it was him and a bunch of guys,
else,
a bunch of random dudes, right? Because Jamal Murray was out,
right?
And I believe Michael Porter Jr. may have been out as well, right? And Jokic did the best that he could.
Dude's crazy.
And there's already some fatigue about Jokic.
Yep.
And
I mean, people didn't want to give it to him last year.
No.
Yeah.
No, exactly. So
tried to turn it into like a big race conversation and everything, and was like, no, dude is just really good.
He's just really good. And you know, the way he plays is very unassuming, and Joel Embiid goes on to win it in 2023.
Right.
This battle of the big men, and it gets confusing. There's politics dealing with the same thing with Jalen Hurts. We'll talk to Jason Dumas about it. Cron 4 sports director, Jalen Hurts versus Brock Purdy. What numbers? Is there a narrative? Do the NFL care, even though they don't technically vote on it? All these things. But Jokic coming to town, and they look like they are in position to do some things if Jamal Murray can stay on the court. That's what happened. That they were my pick, because a lot of people forget the Nuggets were really close to taking down the Lakers, right? In the bubble. Yeah. They almost got it done. They did it, right? So then coming back that next season, they were my pick, because they had bad intentions on their mind. Jamal Murray goes to Chase Center. He tears his ACL.
Yeah.
And then after that, the Warriors go on. I'm not saying that's why, but the Warriors go on to win it. Jamal Murray comes back. What do?
Yep.
They win it.
Pick right back up where they left off.
Exactly. So it is something that we should definitely be paying attention to, right? I don't think they're a one-off, but is anybody worried about the Nuggets becoming a dynasty? And here's the problem. As I have their roster up now, Michael Porter Jr., right, went to Missouri, could have been a number one pick, I think it was knee issues, back issues. Yeah. Justin Holiday, one of the 18 holidays in the NBA. Nikola Jokic, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, who the Lakers shipped off because they couldn't deal with them. Jamal Murray, Reggie Jackson, Christian Braun, national champion as well. That's who's getting the most. And DeAndre Jordan, that's who's getting the most time here. And you look at that roster and you say, there's no way that's a dynasty type roster.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of the thing with the Nuggets is they again, like we said earlier, they just don't really instill fear into their opponents for whatever reason. It's Nikola Jokic is just such a force multiplier. Like him being on the floor makes everybody else so much better that you just on paper you can't really account for it. It doesn't really. It's looking at just the names on the paper doesn't make you feel like this team is built for sustained success. But man, I'm telling you, it's the style of basketball they play. They're a really well constructed team as well. I mean, they're just like 4 or 5 years ahead of the Kings. Like they were very much in a similar situation as the Kings 4 or 5 years ago when they were the best offense in the league. And I think they got a 1 or a 2 seed at that time. And then have just slowly tried to figure out how can we keep this offense but add some defensive pieces that make us into a legitimate title contender. And then you saw a couple years ago when they bring in Aaron Gordon, that shifts things. It makes them a little bit more.
Oh, Aaron Gordon. I didn't even say Aaron Gordon. He must not have played against the Rockets. So Aaron Gordon is a big one.
Yeah, and KCP as well is really good defensively and keeps them shooting on the perimeter. But, I do feel like Denver lost a little bit this offseason as well. Like with losing Bruce Brown, I loved him coming off the bench. I think he's like a perfect player to play next to Nikola Jokic. He does all the dirty work. They kind of are hoping Christian Braun can evolve into that, and I really like him. They also have Julian Strother, who they're really big on as well. They've got some young pieces, but that's how they're going to have to extend this run is by nailing tons of late first-round picks. The Warriors got Kevon Looney with the 30th pick in the first round all those years back, and now you see how that pays off for them. It took a long time, but I think that's kind of the route for success for this Nuggets team is just keeping Jokic, keeping Murray, having that pick and roll be one of the best options in the NBA. You hope Michael Porter Jr. can stay healthy for a season. That's a big reason why they were able to win the title last year as well. And then, you got to hope that you get lucky on some of the young guys, but their organization has been kind of underratedly the best drafting team in the NBA, if I say so myself. Like most of the core, I mean, MPJ, Jamal Murray, and Jokic, those are all homegrown talents. And you had Christian Braun on top of that as well. It's a really good organization. So I feel like they'll figure it out. And when you have Jokic, you might not get the big names to come, but you'll get some really good pieces to come over just because they want to play with him.
Exactly. And, we just talked about the Warriors and their trio. I think the biggest factor here besides health, right? You have Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray who have struggled.
Yeah, big time.
Would be Michael Porter Jr.
Yes.
Right? Because I'm looking here at Bruce Brown. He went and got the bag. Now he's averaging 31 minutes a game, almost 32 minutes a game. He's averaging 11.6 points.
Right.
So who knows if Bruce Brown will actually be he's on the Pacers. Who knows if he'll actually be a real deal starter? That's for him to try out. You got to take these swings and see what you can do and chase a bag. That's what life is all about. Secure a bag. That's what we say on the show. Secure a bag. So we get all that. But as far as Michael Porter Jr., you look here, especially with Jamal Murray being out. Last game, Jamal Murray comes back, 16 points. Michael Porter Jr. against the Rockets, who look like the Olajuwon Rockets when they play the Kings. Michael Porter Jr. 30-burger, double-double, 30-burger, 30 points, 10 rebounds. So comparing that core that we talk about that will allow you to be the dynasty, the difference between the Nuggets core 3 and the Warriors is after Steph got, and they added Durant, but after Steph got through his ankle stuff, they're fairly healthy, right? Nicked here and there. Then, like I said, they add Durant, but the only thing you really know about, and the reason I do not fear the Nuggets as a dynasty is because the only thing I'm certain of, which is a huge thing to be certain of, is that Nikola Jokic is a generational talent.
Sure.
I still have 2 question marks. I still don't know if Jamal Murray can stay healthy throughout the course of the season. And even if Michael Porter Jr. does stay healthy, Michael Porter Jr., let's not forget, he struggled in the playoff last season. They fought through it. And if it wasn't for Bruce Brown, they do not have a championship.
No, 100%. Yeah, I mean, Michael Porter Jr.'s inconsistency is huge for them. Like, he has to be able to provide them something. Like you said, last year in the finals, he was so up and down. You point out his 30-burger. Look at that Clipper game where we're talking about Reggie Jackson and DeAndre Jordan going off. There's a reason why those 2 guys went off. It's because Michael Porter Jr. was just not there.
He played?
He was like 1 of 12 in that game. So that's really big for them. And, yeah, it's tough. Like, the thing that ended up dooming the Warriors, if you want to compare them to the Nuggets, like I was saying, the Nuggets are banking a lot on guys like Julian Strawther and they love Zeke Naji and they have Christian Brown as well. The Warriors messed that up. And they had much higher picks to mess up, but the Wiseman pick ended up shortening this. I mean, imagine what the Warriors look like right now if they pick whoever your favorite from the top of that draft is, whether you want to say LaMelo or Tyrese Halliburton.
I want to even say I was the Avdia guy, and at first I thought I was out, but Avdia's starting to figure it out.
Say whoever you want.
Warriors fans would compromise with Devin Vassell.
Yeah, Devin Vassell. Like they'll. I don't know if you're going to take Tyrese or Vassell at number 2, but like there were other options. Anybody besides Wiseman, really. So if the Warriors nail that pick, and then the following season, can we officially say Jonathan Kuminga's a bust? I think we can. No. Come on. But in terms, looking around that pick, if you're telling me right now, okay,
he's not crazy.
Stop. Everybody stop.
Okay.
The following pick is Franz Wagner. You're telling me right now.
But Chris, we could do this all day.
No, but it's the same position.
Okay.
If the Warriors just do something as simple, I'm not even mentioning the fact that I don't even know if they messed up the Moody pick because Steve Kerr won't give him the time of day even when he's playing well. Right. Started him yesterday. By the way, that was funny. It pulls him as he's making the comeback for the Warriors, and then he recognizes his mistake and then starts him. Anyways, I digress.
They mess up. It's a soap opera. Yes. It's a soap opera.
If they make that pick correctly and they take Franz Wagner instead of Jonathan Kuminga, and you don't mess up the Wiseman pick, that extends this Warriors run. Who even knows how much long? I mean, 3-4 more years if they don't mess up those picks.
Yeah,
that's what Denver's relying on essentially.
Yeah, right. To bring it all back home. Yes. I understand what you're saying. My problem with the bus conversation for Jonathan Kuminga is simply that you're on a team. This is what a lot of people thought with James Wiseman, but I do think it's different because James Wiseman is on a team where he should be getting run, and he can't start over your boy, Marvin Bagley. You can't even start over your boy. You took that jersey. I'm kidding. There was a jersey up here in the studio, and Chris said, "Hey, guys, don't touch it. It's mine." So Marvin Bagley.
Don't touch it. That's for the cremator. That's what I said. I said that's for the fire.
I said, Chris, just leave it alone.
Kindling.
Forget Bagley. He's not getting minutes over Isaiah Stewart.
Yeah. Exactly. So the only thing I will say is it's not as if we don't. It's a Trey Lance argument almost, and we used to do Trey Lance versus James Wiseman. But even talking about Jonathan Kuminga, these good teams, it is tough to get drafted to these good teams. If you win a championship while having a lottery pick, how often does that happen? So
never.
I don't think Jonathan, because honestly, when I was in the Bay, when people were firing up the trade generator in the Bay, I said, I know a bunch of dudes that can jump out the gym like Jonathan Kuminga. I am not even the biggest Jonathan Kuminga guy.
Yeah.
If we're saying, do we think Jonathan Kuminga is going to be generational? I will say, I don't. I think that conversation is starting to get more dim. But Bus as number 7, I think he could still be a good player.
At the very least, we can say it's the wrong pick. Is the point?
But I would say it happens all the time.
I wouldn't. I shouldn't have made it about Kuminga. It's more about the Warriors' decision.
But now I know you got something in the tank
Warriors
for
made
Kuminga.
the wrong pick. I mean, whatever. Kuminga's.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, I have still seen way too much raw from Jonathan Kuminga and not enough actual tangible.
You got a
things
bag
that
on
you can
Instagram
take day to day. Sure, that's great. It's more just the Warriors messed up that decision. Whether or not Kuminga's a bust or not, they clearly could have had a much better option in Franz Wagner, and I guarantee Franz Wagner. I kind of think it's easier to join a successful team. I think you're asked to do less. And sure, you might not be able to do everything you want to do, but I think as a rookie, it's a lot better to slowly integrate than to just say, go out there and say, show us what you got.
Yeah. We got to go. Kyle just said we got to go. But the only thing I will just say quickly is that I guess there's just more leeway for a team like the Warriors because you did draft, I don't know if you want to put Draymond in this category. You did draft 2 generational guys in Steph and Clay from a shooter standpoint. And I would put Draymond there as a defender.
Yeah.
So those misses, albeit bad, every team misses, but every team doesn't hit like the Warriors. The Nuggets, They got Jokic.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if Jamal Murray is generational, and I don't know if Michael Porter Jr. is generational.
Right.
So if you do miss on top of your guys not being generational, which it is hard, it's a gamble, right?
Yeah.
Teams miss all the time. That's why I'm not confident. It's not about them being in Denver. It's not about Jokic having credit card hops. It's just about I don't know what the other 2 are yet. So gotta go.
Biggest thing for me, Jokic playoffs, who's going to stop him? Like that's also – that kind of ended up being the story of last year was Jamal Murray doesn't have to be generational. He just has to make threes. Same with Michael Porter Jr. Because Jokic is getting 35, 15, and 15 every night.
Or Michael Jr. doesn't. Michael Porter Jr. doesn't have to make threes. And you can still win. You can still win because
still
of the
got
threat.
KCP.
Still got KCP who, every time he plays the Lakers, he want to get his lick back. Gotta go. When we get back, we're continuing to talk about the Kings and their matchup, their showdown with the Nuggets tomorrow night. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee-owned, our attention to detail is second to none. Put our decades of experience serving our community to use for you. Get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112. Or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice.
Sacramento has a new tag team in the midday. It's Stiles and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. The Nuggets, do you view them as a year-in, year-out threat? It really matters how you view Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. And we don't even know if you're going to view Jamal Murray as a threat tomorrow night because of that rolled ankle coming off I believe it was a torn hamstring. Torn hamstring. There's some guys when it comes to injuries that just have bad
luck. Yeah, that's got to be the worst because, we don't think about these guys a lot as actual human beings who have to deal with the recovery of these injuries. It's more just oh man, that guy cannot stay. Poor Ben Simmons, you don't really think about the fact that this dude just spent. I mean, you probably have a better grasp of how long you spend on lower body injury, but. Man. Spent 6 months probably he probably didn't even feel 100% to himself. Usually it takes, a month or so of actually being into game action to get back to where you feel like you left off. And then for game one, a couple minutes into your first action back to just have something else in the lower body as well. It's just thing after thing after thing with him. And I'm glad they got the ring. I'm glad he was able to stay healthy for that one stretch, but sometimes, like, weirdly, that's how guys' careers go, where it's just he was healthy for one stretch of time and then he never really got healthy again. You hope that's not the case with Jamal Murray, but man, it just feels like every time there's just something with him, and it's not injury prone, like you said. It just kind of feels like bad luck with him.
I wonder in general how people view injury and the word luck, because I was golfing was it last weekend? I was golfing last weekend with another guy who tore his Achilles. For those listening, I've said it multiple times. We'll get into Aaron Rodgers, by the way. We'll do a comparison of Alan Stiles to a Hall of Fame quarterback. Achilles recovery, how similar is it? But he tore his Achilles, and we were kind of chatting about it. And, some people, when you tell them that you tore your Achilles, they'll be like, what are you trying to be Steph Curry? Or no, I was just playing pickup.
Yep.
That's all I was doing.
Yep.
And
took a bad step.
No, just took a bad step. I'm just getting older, right? And a lot of people will say you need to stretch. But if you actually talk to if you talk to a physical therapist, there are a lot of different theories. And the guy who tore his, he said, yeah, a lot of times it's just mileage, and some people just how your makeup is. Basically, that cold, that chilly morning in Alameda, used to call it Alameda when I lived there, when I'm hooping. That chilly morning, if I had done a couple more calf raises, would I have torn it or not?
Right.
Maybe not that day, but eventually it would have caught up to me. And it's really a question of how everyone's bodies are wired.
Right.
And we know these guys, for the most part, I'd like to think that these guys take care of their bodies. You see the funny stories of Marshawn Lynch eating Skittles, and I think was it DK Metcalf or something. Some people just eat terribly.
Yeah,
but to some level, they take care of their bodies. So I don't know if the word is luck, but you got to feel for guys like Jamal, and the list goes on and on, right? From Bo Jackson and the hip, Ken Griffey Jr. and the trajectory that he was on.
Maybe argue Derrick Rose.
Rose.
That's like the toughest one, where it's like, did he become injury prone?
Yes,
he was He was healthy for pretty much the entirety of his life.
Once one starts, it just kind of snowballs.
Snowball effect.
I've actually had this theory as well. Are there some people that are almost just too athletic for their own body?
Oh, 1,000%. Right? Like John Morant's case in point.
Like Derrick Rose, what he was doing
He's too high in the air.
No, you are not supposed to do that.
No,
get down,
not.
sir.
Yeah, like Zion,
sir,
too. Where it's like Zion's a ticking time bomb, it feels like, if he's going to continue to be at the weight he's at. Not that he's overweight or anything. Right. That's a whole different conversation, but it's more just science says that if you're this large piece of mass and you're constantly exploding and landing and you're up in the air and falling, like at some point gravity's undefeated.
Yes.
Like
Father Time and gravity.
It's going to come back to bite you at some point. And it's scary. It's kind of the nature of the game, though. I mean, like if you're a professional athlete, baseball, basketball, football, it just kind of feels like at some point everybody plays sports growing up. You're gonna deal with some major injury at some point if you play for your entire life.
Porzingis is the original unicorn, and the joke now, he's kind of in that Marcus Mariota range where he's always like day to day with some sort of injury because Porzingis has torn a knee and has injured his ankles. Like he's dealing with it now.
Always.
And he's 7+ foot.
Right. People,
but
it was funny because he kind of came out of nowhere, and Knicks kind of booed Knicks fans and things like that, but the stuff that you heard about Chet, you didn't hear as much, I don't think, about Porzingis. Maybe because Porzingis, nobody really thought the Knicks were going to draft him. Another guy, when we have the discussion about injuries, right? And football is the main one, basketball, you wouldn't think baseball. And my thought process is that Giancarlo Stanton, as much as he's injured, he is a guy who either I think he played the wrong sport, and I think he's too athletic for his body, because there's no way you should be that injury prone in baseball.
Yeah.
That tells me, I don't think he would be. Everyone said, well, baseball's safer. I do think that's true, but I also think that there are people that just are dealt a bad hand, and you just can't have it all. Hey, when whoever the sports gods created Giancarlo Stanton, hey, you're going to be able to hit the ball 600 feet. But your body shouldn't allow you to do that.
Right.
Figure it out. Right. And that's where Giancarlo Stanton is. And I don't think he'd be any more or less injured playing football than baseball, which sounds insane.
Right.
But let's also give Stanton a swing that puts all the pressure on his back.
That's also true. And maybe I thought the same thing about Bryce Harper, because Bryce Harper hit his back and his swing. So maybe that's part of it too.
Aaron Judge had oblique issues too, and it's like
Aaron Judge. So there are a lot of guys, and injury is just a part of sports that you hate to see. But yeah, Jamal Murray and what he has done when he's on the court has been incredible. But you're just a little bit worried now.
Well, and to your point, too, I mean, they have two of those. They have two guys that you have to be hyper concerned. We just spent an entire segment focused about Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
Not even like Michael Porter Jr., who came into the league with back issues. Like the Kings, there's a lot of, you can pull it up during the break. There's tons of stories of the Sacramento Kings were hyper-focused on taking Michael Porter Jr., and they didn't because his physical was so bad. Like his back, the injury report on his back was so concerning that he fell, I believe, all the way down to 14.
Yeah.
And he was a guy who, when the Kings moved up to 2, they were at 7, moved all the way up to 2. They still considered taking him there because of how good he was, but ultimately didn't because his back was such a concern. And he missed his entire rookie season because of his back. He's had flare-ups here and there, and last year was really the first season he was able to play. Like, I don't even know how many games he played, but he was able to at least do the playoff run as well. So.
And maybe he felt some pressure because he was finally playing in high-level games, and he wasn't
healthy.
He wasn't. We got to get to a break, but we love Chris's Harrison Barnes variants. I got another one, Klay Thompson variants.
Sure.
And would you give me Klay Thompson variants as Keegan Murray and Michael Porter Jr.? Are those two? You got athletic Klay Thompson in Michael Porter Jr., right? Because I would say Michael Porter Jr. has more hops than Klay and is more athletic than Klay. I don't know what version of Keegan.
That's interesting.
Is Keegan just – I don't know what Keegan – is he just young variant? Young Klay Thompson variant? Yeah. First of all, do you agree with Keegan being a variant of Klay Thompson?
I feel like, Keegan, like with how he was playing last year, definitely running off screens and all that. Yeah, I mean, especially if they're going to have him be the primary defender as well.
That's what I'm saying.
That's an interesting.
Is he
play.
bag Klay Thompson because he's getting a bag now?
I don't know. I'll have to workshop that. There's something.
Okay,
there's
we're
something
taking
there.
916-339-1140. Is Keegan Murray a variant of Klay Thompson? Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports. When we get back, we are talking about the Western Conference. It's time to reevaluate the conference and where the Kings stand. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings. Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Boost Mobile is giving families the holiday gift they really want. When you switch to Boost, get an iPhone 11 for only $49.99 or free Samsung Galaxy A23. You'll get amazing service too, because only Boost switches between the top networks to give you the best service. So stop by a Boost Mobile store and give the gift of Boost. That's an iPhone 11 for $49.99 or free Samsung Galaxy A23. Get yours at a Boost Mobile store today. Visit boostmobile.com for details. New customers and in-store only. Requires auto pay and ID verification. Other restrictions apply. See participating dealers for details.
Jessica, this is the happiest day of my life. Right up there with the day I bought my RV and insured it with Progressive. Man, I love that thing. There are a million fish in the sea, which I'm reminded of every time I bring my RV to the lake, but I vow to love and cherish you just as much as I cherish campsites with full electric and water hookups. I'm so sorry.
Protect your beloved with an RV policy from Progressive. Take as little as 4 minutes to see what you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
This is the moment you've been waiting for. Hanley's Kia in Davis is bringing you an unbeatable deal on all 2024 Kia models. Drive home in style without breaking the bank. Introducing Hanley's Kia incredible leasing option for just $199 a month. Picture yourself behind the wheel of a brand new 2024 Kia, loaded with the latest features and cutting-edge technology. Whether it's the sleek Niro Hybrid with 54 mpg, an EV6 with up to 310 miles, the versatile Sportage, or the family-friendly Telluride, at Hanley's Kia, you can also reserve your luxurious full-size EV9 with 3 rows that has the comfort of a stylish interior and the peace of mind that comes with driving a brand you can trust. Head over to Hanley's Kia today, located in Davis.
New 2024 Kia Niro Hybrid EX for $199 per month for 36 months after $7,999 customer cash due at signing plus $300 military customer rebate. 10,000 miles per year and 20 cents per mile after 30,000 miles based on sale price $30,545 and payment excludes taxes and DMV fees and any dealer fees. Vehicle ID number R5136-138.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports' IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com and sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's film at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
Winter is coming. I know you know that, but are you prepared to keep your family warm all season long? At American Energy Heating and Air, their goal is to exceed your expectations of the heating and air industry by valuing the customer experience and making your home comfort system as efficient as possible for the most value. So book your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. Prevent dangerous gas leaks. Extend the life of that furnace and save on your energy bills. And here's the guarantee. This isn't a sales call. They're not getting in the door so they can try to sell you a bunch of stuff. No, they're just going to do what they say they're going to do. Call today to schedule an appointment at 916-520-9990 or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A-plus Better Business Bureau rating. Get your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. 916-520-9990. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you find the right customers. Spread awareness of your product or services. We can help build trust in your brand and services with a digital marketing campaign. Increase leads and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing campaigns that deliver results. Don't wait. Get started today. Contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results.
Live and local, it's Stiles and Watkins. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. Dynasties, injuries, all the conversations here on this fun Friday. And we talk about, you should stretch more. I mean, this guy, Jalen Phillips from the Dolphins, 24 years old. Yes, he's had injury history, not necessarily his Achilles. I mean, do we think he's not stretching? You know what I mean? Some of this is just bad luck. As we discuss Aaron Rodgers, another victim of the Achilles, and Aaron Rodgers trying to make his return. This is from ESPN. They posted this story, and it says, Aaron Rodgers, he turns 40 tomorrow, as we played with Carmichael Dave, the celebrity birthdays. And Aaron Rodgers is practicing so soon after catastrophic injury is another remarkable achievement in his career, but he's in a race against time. He has 19 days remaining in his 21-day practice window to convince doctors and perhaps himself that he's physically capable of playing a football game. If he gets medical clearance, he must decide if it's worth the risk. Coach Robert Saleh said Rodgers will play if he's cleared and wants to do it. Now, we're not going to get into I don't want to say the P word here. We're not going to get into the whys of why Aaron Rodgers may want to play, because I don't think we need to.
No, let's not.
It's impressive either way. Now, I am not a NFL Hall of Fame quarterback. I also didn't get that bridge surgery. Mm-hmm. Aaron Rodgers did it. When was the first game? Was that August?
First game of August. No, it was 9/11. He did the whole flag.
September. Yeah. So we're talking about September, and now we're September, October. We are barely 4 months. Not even 4 months.
Not even 3 months.
Not even 3 months away.
12 weeks.
12 weeks away from Aaron Rodgers' Achilles injury, and he is trying to play. Again, the whys of why he wants to play does not matter. If he does this, can't lie, it's extremely impressive. To give you some
is it impressive or is it dumb?
But Chris, I don't know. Right now, this
feels like a stupid games win stupid prizes.
Maybe. I saw the slow-mo of him doing his little 3-drop step back, and he's throwing the football. Yeah. I tore my Achilles June 21st.
Right.
I got surgery June 21st. I tore it a couple days prior, right? So I'm sitting on June, July, August, September, October, November. I'm at about the 6-month mark, right? Because it was late June. And I'm in the process now. I got to find a new physical therapist.
How long did they tell you it would take, like in terms of recovery?
So they said that I would be starting the process of running again in January. So the normal recovery is 8 to 12.
Okay.
So basically it's
months, by the way,
8
not
to 12
weeks.
months. 8 to 12 months. So basically I would be starting to run again in January.
That'd probably be like jogging, right?
Yeah.
Light jogging.
And then hooping, if I wanted to hoop again,
right,
you should wait a year. Now, I have an old coworker who was back hooping 5-on-5, and he either my age, I'm 33, he's either my age or maybe a smidge older.
Retire,
or a smidge.
brother.
He's in my range,
Yeah.
right? He was back hooping 5-on-5 in 10 months.
Okay. That feels extreme.
And he said, "Hey, Alan, I hit my PT. I did it. You can't be afraid. You just
Gotta
go
attack it."
I'm like, I hear you, but the way my legs work, I don't want to go through this again, man. So it really
That's
is
the
on
thing.
you. But again, that's 10 months. Okay. Aaron Rodgers, we're talking about close to 3 months away in a football
Talking a little
game.
over 10 weeks. Just a little bit over.
In a football game, right? And you're stopping, you're starting, he was running
getting
for his
smashed.
He was running for his life to start the season.
Yes.
To start the season.
Yeah.
So if he does it, very impressive. But Chris, you're not necessarily wrong in terms of stupid. He's 40 years old. Do you really want to risk it when you're not in contention? I think that's the biggest part of this. If you guys were leading the division, and it's, hey, I can just, or you're close to make a run, and the team looks great, and we can just let's pull something off. Cool. You're not even in that position. I think that's the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't understand what the goal is, because even if he does come back as quickly as possible, what are the odds that it's going to mean that he's at his best? Like, again, what's the point in rushing back just to say you rushed back? If this is especially your last dance or whatever you want to call it, if you're truly trying to make a comeback and play football again, well, then shouldn't you want to return and make sure that you're as healthy as possible and you can do it for an extended period of time, whatever that may be, if it's another season, if it's another 3 seasons, who knows? But it doesn't feel like rushing back from a very, very, maybe the most serious sports injury you could have at the age of 40, as we learned this morning.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like a good idea. It just doesn't sound like a good idea at all. And even if he does come back, there's a 0% chance he'll look anything like will he even be as good as Tim Boyle or Zach Wilson if he comes back?
That's actually a really
you can't put like, I mean, if he can return
you
to
see
football
me
action,
walk around.
I see you walk down the stairs and you have to kind of turn a little bit to the side. Like, how is this guy supposed to do a 5-step drop back and throw it 60, 70 yards down the field?
I'm like,
that's what Aaron's gonna sound.
Yeah, I can start because it's been a month now of me being here. Now I'm walking down steps normally, and I'm backpedaling and I'm shuffling and I'm doing different things. But that's also at about the 6-month mark here, right? Or a little short of that. And I'm looking here. And I said we wouldn't do it, but yes, we can say it without. Aaron is doing this because he's Aaron Rodgers. He's doing this to prove a point.
Yes.
He's not doing this to win football games.
No.
He's not doing this for his
about the
legacy.
Jets.
No, he's doing this to prove. He's not doing it for the Jets. No, he's doing this to prove a point. The Jets right now, I'm on tankathon.com. I love checking out Tankathon.
So good.
It's just fun. The Jets right now would have the 8th pick. They're 4-7. If you are smart and you want to really have a last dance, keep Zach Wilson or Boyle or whoever in there. I know it might not be good for Robert Saleh, but Robert Saleh, unless he's the one who said, let's roll with Zach Wilson, you should have one more year before it's like, Robert, what are we doing here? You get one more year, just stink up the joint for the rest of the season. Sorry, Jets fans. See how high you can get in the draft. Get Aaron another weapon or show up that offensive line or trade it.
Best quarterback class in a while,
and go in. What?
That's
you said to get a quarterback?
No. I mean, like, people will want a quarterback.
Aaron
you can
would
ship it
lose.
off.
He said no. Aaron would be at the draft with his Achilles, and he would say, you will not take
to
this.
the podium himself.
The last time this happened, he leaked that he wanted to trade the next draft. Right?
Exactly. That's a good question. If they did take a quarterback, the Jets, let's say they scoot up. It's a fun Friday.
Yeah, why not?
Let's say they scoot up, and it's in Caleb Williams'
Sure.
And now, hey, New York,
right.
a little bit different than Arizona or Carolina or Chicago, whatever the situation is. And the Jets are thinking about it. Well, Aaron only got one more year.
Right.
What is the trade value of a 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers with he's only got one more year? Who's the team that says, I'm in?
Let's just
Falcons.
The Vikings. Let's do the Green Bay circle of going from Packers to Jets and then Vikings.
I hear the Raiders need a quarterback.
Vikings.
They certainly would take him. Raiders is a great shout.
If he goes Vikings, did Aaron Rodgers fully pull the Brett Favre?
Yeah, with one less season in New York, but yeah. That's what I'm not rooting for.
The Jets have a lot of question marks. And if I'm the Jets, honestly, it's either draft or I'll let Aaron go because no disrespect to you, Aaron.
Yeah.
If you go out there and you do
and it happens again,
that's on you because you insisted. I know the doctors would have to clear him, but then we're going to continue losing, right? And then we're in the clear to get a Caleb Williams or a Drake May if they're available.
I think the problem with the Jets is that defense is, dare I say, like kind of Super Bowl right? Like that defense is legit.
Right.
Like you can win with that defense next year if you put a half decent offense out there. And that's where, to your point, like you're saying, like if you're the Jets, you can't really put your eggs in the Aaron Rodgers basket again.
No.
You got to go out there and you got to say, I don't know. I mean,
that's Kirk Cousins. He's coming off his Achilles.
How about Kyler? Like, I mean,
I don't like Kyler in cold weather.
I don't love it either.
Ryan Tannehill's available.
Just some names.
Click. I just hung up.
Ryan Tannehill's already going with
our. You got to get the dial tone sound on here. Who's calling? Who's calling? Yeah, we're not picking up. So yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers wants to prove a point, and maybe he will. We will see. Got to get to a break. When we get back, we will reevaluate the Western Conference. Where do the Kings stand? Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings conquered the Thunder, the Spurs, the T-Wolves, and Warriors for an undefeated run through Group C of the in-season tournament.
Tough ball away, bank shot is good. The lead Monk somehow banks it home. 7.4 seconds to go.
Now it's the knockout stage and a matchup with the New Orleans Pelicans.
Losers out. Winners off to Las Vegas.
Join us for Kings and Pelicans, Monday at 7 on Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Yep, 'tis the season. Hi, if you're like me, you take pride in your gift giving. Well, I've got a terrific idea for you. Gift cards from the Good Feet store. Okay, so arch supports aren't exactly what they've been hinting for, but you know they'd love them. And with the Good Feet lifetime warranty, it's a gift they'll enjoy forever. Buy a Good Feet gift card now, and Good Feet will boost its value 20%. That's a 20% gift free from the Good Feet store. If you have someone on your list who's on their feet all day, has sore feet, knee, hip, or back pain, or even plantar fasciitis, maybe needs an energy boost, or just wants to maintain their active lifestyle, a Good Feet Arch Support gift card could be the perfect gift.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
This is Jeff Scott. Did you know there's a way to outsmart COVID if you get it? Now, there are medicines that can treat COVID whether or not you've been vaccinated, which is great news, especially if you're over 50. If taken in the first 5 days of having symptoms, COVID medicines can help stop the illness from getting serious. Call a healthcare provider or the statewide COVID hotline at 833-422-4255 to learn more about COVID medicines. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
A holiday message from Jackson Hewitt.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to get money the same day.
Starting December 11th, walk into a Jackson Hewitt for an early loan on your tax refund, and you could walk out with up to $1,000.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to get money. Missing out would be cray.
Appointments go fast. Book yours now at jacksonhewitt.com. Early refund advance offered to eligible clients. Application required. Finance charge applies. Loans by Republic Bank. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Right now, the sewer system is probably the last thing on your mind. And that's okay, because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. If you have a sewer problem like a slow drain or a backup, call us first. Day or
Sactown Sports app.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. 2 p.m. We will be joined. See, I was caught in the middle of maybe trying to do the McAfee thing and stand up, and then I decided to sit down, and I'm just gonna sit here. I'm trying to maybe get the mic raised a little bit so I can get some stand. I got some stand hours in here, man. I got some stand hours, maybe an ergonomic chair. We're gonna switch some things up in here. Taking you up to 2 p.m. Chris Watkins, Alan Stiles. We will be joined by Jason Dumas of Cron 4 News, the sports director. Also does work with 95.7 The Game at 1 p.m. to talk Niners, Eagles with a little bit of spin. Jason Dumas is from Philly, so we will get the inside track. And we also have an update here on Dallas Goedert, the tight end for the Eagles. Huge weapon for the Eagles that they've been missing. They also are winning, and they have not had him. Here is the update from Josh Tolentino from JCT Sports. Said he was initially told by team doctors recovery would be 4 to 6 weeks. Upon hearing that, he aspired to return within 2 to 3 weeks, participated in normal Friday activities, including pass catching and also blocking. Still no decision on his status for Sunday versus the Niners. Goddard said he'll meet with the team doctors, coaches, and strength staff today. He feels ready to go, but it'll be a team decision. I know Niner fans talking all that, but I know you don't ever hope somebody get injured, but hey, just be sure you're okay.
Just another week.
Yeah,
just be careful.
Be careful. You don't want to rush into things.
Yeah,
you don't
you're
want
a big piece, man. Come on. They
Exactly.
need they need you for the run.
They need you. Now, if he doesn't play and the Eagles lose, now obviously he's not a quarterback, but you could say, hey, if I'm an Eagle fan, we didn't have Dallas, right? We didn't have Dallas Goedert. We didn't have all of our guys.
Is Lane Johnson supposed to play? I know he was on the injury report for a little bit, and
right.
I'm pretty sure they have like a ridiculous record with and without him.
Yeah, and
the
Eagles just have people that have been on that team forever.
Yeah,
for
Fletcher Cox,
and they're just vampires. They've just been the same age for the last 7 years. They were there when it was, when they won the Super Bowl. They were there for this Super Bowl. They just don't age out there in Philly. I don't know what it is. Here you go. Lane Johnson's at practice today. A good sign about his availability. That is from Chris Franklin News. So yeah, he's out. If you get back both of them, now you're really cooking with some grease if you're the Eagles, and the Niners better come with it, because you know that the Eagles, just like Hassan Reddick said, there was a lot of boo-hoos and a lot of – I just love how he said it.
I know, boo-hoo.
There are a lot of boo-hoos. So we'll see what happens there as we break down Niners, Eagles, and also Kings, Nuggets. That will be tomorrow night.
Yes.
And Chris, how are you feeling right now about the Western Conference in the NBA?
It's kind of scary. I mean, we knew it was going to be scary. We thought it was going to be deep.
It's as scary as it was at the beginning, as scary in practice as it was for us in theory.
Yes, I think so. And it's not even necessarily, and I don't think anyone was projecting this, but it's just that they all seem to be at the same tier. It doesn't feel like anyone has really separated themselves. And there's just so many teams in the league right now that are at pretty much where the Kings record is, at that 10-7, 11-8 record. There's pretty much all the top teams in the West are grouped within a couple games of that. The Kings are the 6th seed right now. They're 3.5 games behind Minnesota's 14-4. But for the most part, there's 6 or 7 teams who are just in that Kings win range. And I mean, now is kind of the time in the season where you separate yourself a couple games, and it's huge. That's really just been the biggest thing I've noticed, is that top end, there's no nights off. There's just no nights off in the NBA. You're not going to have, 3 to 4 games, it feels like, in a row against competition you would say is probably not in the playoff hunt. It feels like you can't go more than 2 games without running into a Nuggets or into a Warriors or a Clippers team even. It's because that's the problem too, is even the bad teams got guys that you're like, well, we're playing the Chicago Bulls tonight. Can't let, even though Levine's on the block, and I know they're resting him or sitting him or whatever for the next week or two, but they got talent. And, Victor Wembanyama, we saw when the Kings played the Spurs, even they were a problem, and Portland was as well. So the biggest thing I've taken from the league so far is just truly no nights off. And I mean, no one. Also, good news in the West is that no one has separated themselves, so there still is time to kind of find your footing. And I think the Kings, I think we can probably say they haven't found their footing.
No,
yet.
and I don't know that any team truly has. Teams can get hot and then cool off.
Right.
As of
Orlando,
right now,
I'm looking at you.
Orlando,
We
and
saw
now
Houston do it earlier this year.
Right
already.
now, Houston has fallen to 500. Right,
Houston
they're
still
8-8.
hasn't won on the road this year. They're 8-1 at home, 0-7 on the road this year.
That is not going to work. So I'm looking here. I know it's the beginning of December now, and a lot of people start to watch and start to seriously watch after Christmas, right? So that would be 25 more days until the season really starts after Christmas. But
Ja Morant's coming back in
Ja
a couple
Morant,
weeks.
exactly. But they got an
uphill battle.
They're 9.5 games back of the group, basically.
I think they thought they were going to be 13-4, and they're 4-13.
I think they were probably praying for 500.
I mean,
4-13 is abysmal.
They really thought, and the crazy thing is, I really thought Marcus Smart was going to be like, I thought it was going to be not seamless, but I was like, Marcus is
for Dylan,
a starter capable guy, and I think the Trey Jones thing hurt, and I think, the Tyus Jones hurt, and I think also no Steven Adams for the year. Like I don't know. I feel like the Grizzlies, even when they get Ja back, probably aren't going to be the team they were last year. Not even close.
I'll never forget when Marcus Smart was at Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
And
remember he shoved that fan?
Yes.
Yeah.
I will never forget more fan. This is just a week of fan engagement and fan participation. I'll never forget seeing a comp of Marcus Smart and Dwayne Wade.
Oh, that did not age well. Did not age well.
No.
They can't shoot. I guess that's really the similarity.
Defend, I don't know. But so I'm looking here, and, like I said, everyone said, oh, it starts after Christmas. But as of right now, the Warriors are the 10 seed at 9-10. The Rockets are the 9 seed at 8-8. The Pelicans are the 8 seed at 10-9. The Lakers are the 7 seed at 11-9. The Kings are the 6 seed at 10-7. Suns are the 5 seed at 11-7. Mavs, the 4 seed at 11-6. Thunder, the 3 seed at 12-6. Nuggets, the 2 seed at 13-6. And the Timberwolves, the 1 seed at 14-4.
9-1 at home.
9-1. Who's the one?
Who's that one? Who's that one?
Who's that one?
I don't know.
The Kings.
Can't remember. Can't seem to
Not
remember.
the Kings.
Huh? Come on.
The Kings. And
they've got some good wins, the Kings, this year. I was thinking about that the other day.
Quality.
Yeah, some quality wins.
Yeah.
If you're talking about, you now got one over Golden State. You got a Dallas win. You got you could potentially have a Nuggets win this weekend. That would be nice. OKC, that's looking like a really good win.
Yeah.
Cleveland's looking like a decent win. They've off to a slower start than last year, but it's a positive to take out from the Kings, because when we were talking about the Mavericks schedule before they played the Kings, some teams, the Kings have really gotten the short end of the stick. Both when it comes to conference, they've only played one Eastern Conference team so far this year.
That's rough.
And the Kings also have only had 7 home games. They've had 10 road games. So, that's about to balance out right here on this homestand. But the Kings definitely have had a bit of a tough schedule. And I would say coming out of it 10-7 to this point, again, trying to not get it's tough to not get lost in the day-to-day, but looking back at it, 10-7 is pretty good record for the competition they faced and all the situations that they've had to deal with.
Mm-hmm. You bring up a good point, because as we figure out the landscape and how much people care about the in-season tournament, if the Kings start getting on a roll and the in-season tournament you win, and you win the cup, right? You are the champions of the in-season tournament. I think everybody would be happy about that.
Yeah.
Especially in Sacramento. We know the past and getting back in the playoffs. I think everybody would be happy about that.
Yeah.
There's no denying, right? But then you look at, the Kings were playing some really good ball during that time period, and you start to ask yourself, they're going to have to be more than one run, right, to get to 50 wins and up. But you start to think, not that I'm mad that they win the in-season tournament, but you're starting to look at this schedule. As I look at it, when is that run going to happen? So you have the Nuggets. You have the Nuggets at home, right? That's tomorrow night.
Yep.
And then you have this in-season tournament on Monday. We'll see what happens there. You would get that break. And as we mentioned earlier this week, that Eastern Conference team That's the Nets. That would be the Monday, whether you win or lose the in-season tournament, you would play on that Saturday. So it'd be a Thursday game next Thursday, and then Saturday, and then you have a back-to-back with the Nets on Monday, and then the Clippers again Tuesday in LA. Now, after that, it's basically you go back to every other day. It is a homestand. But during that homestand, when you talk about making that run, Chris, you have the Thunder at home. No slouch. They're the 3 seed right now.
Already took care of them.
The Jazz, that's a must win.
It is.
You have to win that game.
Got to take care of that one.
That's December 16th. The Wizards, I mean, that's a month.
Come on.
You got to win that game.
You have to.
Now.
Hell no.
Now, here it goes, right? Got to get to a break. Here it goes. Those couple games where, hey, you got to have them, right? Then after that, December 20th, Celtics at Kings. Then 2 days later, I will be at this game as a fan. Thank you to the station. I will be taking my lovely wife. First game, she will be going to a Golden One. Suns at Kings.
Oh, that's a must win.
So you go. Well,
that's for you.
For me, it is. And it's a Friday night. We'd love to see a Friday beam. So that would be great. So you get Celtics at Kings December 20th. Suns at Kings the 22nd. Oh, wait. But wait, there's more.
Does there have to?
Timberwolves at Kings December 23rd. Then
Merry
you get
Christmas.
another break. Yes, Merry Christmas. You get another break. Blazers, Hawks, Grizzlies with Ja, then Hornets. So that's your run.
That's your easy
Here's your
stretch.
run. Got to get to a break.
Post-Christmas.
I know, Kyle. Here's your run. You try to stay 500, more than 500. You take care of what you need to with the Jazz and the Wizards. Then once you get to December 26th, you're on the road for a couple of them. Blazers, Hawks, Grizzlies, Hornets, Magic, Raptors, Pelicans, Pistons, Hornets, and then that's your East Coast. You go to the Hornets, you go to the Sixers, you go to the Bucks. So that's your run.
Yeah.
Those, what were that, 6 games?
Yeah.
Gotta have them.
Gotta have them.
Gotta have them. Gotta get to a break when we get back, continuing to break down all things Kings and all things Niners. We preview the Denver Nuggets. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
What's the latest with the San Francisco 49ers? Carmichael, Dave, and Jason Ross keep you up to date on all things red and gold during the Niners at 9 every weekday at 9 a.m. on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-775-5622. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-775-5622. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-775-5622. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for by Cars R Us and Find the Children.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured,
remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kent Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kent Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
Don't you just love this time of year and the holidays when families get together to make memories? Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. From the time I was a youngster, the family table was always filled with a gathering of grandparents, aunts and uncles, brothers and sisters. Those are memories that will live with me forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings Holiday Home Sale going on right now gives you the opportunity to find the perfect holiday gift that will last a lifetime. You'll find unique gifts like gleaming accessories for every room, now 20% off. During Naturewood's holiday home sale, you'll find savings all around the store for every room in your home. Find your perfect bit of Christmas for your home at Naturewood Home Furnishings Holiday Home Sale, going on right now. The memories you make with your family will be with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Hello, I'm Frank Cockrell with Retirement Security Centers with a weekly economic update. Is the Federal Reserve jumping the shark or sticking the landing? Core inflation fell from 3.4% to 3% in October, slightly lower than the 3.1% forecast. Fed Chair Jerome Powell is seeking 6 months of tame inflation. Inflation is running at 2.5% over the past 6 months, which is edging closer to the 2% target. Personal income rose by 0.2%, while consumption also rose by 0.2% in October. The economy grew by a revised 5.2% rate annualized last quarter. Odds of a rate increase this December by the Fed decreased to 4%, while rate cut odds increased to 74% by May 31st, 2024. The Beige Book, which is a federal system publication that charts current economic conditions in 12 federal districts, was flat in 8 of the 12 districts, possibly indicating some renewed recessionary pressure. While the Federal Reserve tries to keep their rate increase show relevant, they risk jumping the shark versus a soft economic landing. How might this affect you or your family? Please go to frankontheradio.com to schedule an appointment, watch videos, and receive market updates. I'm ready to help you start your journey so you can define your future.
Frank Cockrell is a registered representative of Lincoln Financial Advisors Corporation, a broker-dealer and member SIPC and registered investment advisor. Retirement Security Centers is not an affiliate of Lincoln Financial Advisors.
Did you know one of the worst things you can do is turn on your furnace after it's been sitting there all summer, gathering dust, without giving it a thorough tune-up first?
Think about it. What if your car had been sitting in the garage for 6 months without ever running?
Any piece of machinery that's been sitting needs to be tuned up. So call Bell Brothers. We'll tune up your furnace for just $87 and guarantee the results.
We guarantee that your tuned-up furnace will save you $87 on your energy bills. And we guarantee that your tuned-up furnace won't break down during the season, or we'll immediately refund your money. No questions asked.
Don't delay. Small problems that are easy and inexpensive to fix can quickly turn into big, expensive problems.
Call Bell Brothers right now to schedule your furnace tune-up at 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com. That's 916-444-1234 or online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
Sacramento has a new tag team in the midday. It's Stiles and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m., getting you ready for Niners, Eagles, Kings, Nuggets. As Dave has said multiple times, it is a ridiculous weekend in sports.
It's pretty crazy.
It is a ridiculous weekend in sports. You have all of the...
just about everything you'd want.
Yeah, you have all of the conference championships in college football tomorrow, starting tonight, Oregon versus Washington. I mean, that'll be a good one. Definitely want to check that out.
It's a playoff quarterfinal game.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And it will be the last time, basically, Pac-12 will be represented.
I think as the time being.
Yeah. Unless they figure it out.
Oregon State and Washington State still own the licensing.
They're not going to figure it out.
They're not. Yeah, it will be. Right? I don't know. It's hard to make things, completely done, but that's what it seems like. So starting off tonight, I think that'll be a good game.
College basketball, I'm looking tonight. Number 4 Connecticut against number 5 Kansas.
There you go.
That's not nothing.
That is not nothing. A lot to watch this weekend. So hopefully everybody has good plans to enjoy.
There's Colts versus Titans. It's great.
No.
Sac State, South Dakota.
That's right. Sac State, South Dakota. You know it's really cold out there. Jason,
poor Jason.
If you're listening, I hope you bought some hand warmers, brother.
Let's see.
Hope you bought some hand warmers because it is a little nippy out there.
Last week he was in North Dakota, and he said it feels like 0 degrees.
That's just not fun to me. It's not fun to me.
Is South Dakota the one with the that's with the Mount Rushmore, right?
Yes.
Am I wrong? Okay.
Yeah.
I was like I was trying to think what any of the Dakotas are used for.
I don't believe he's in that city, but yes.
Yeah.
Why do we need 2 Dakotas? Will forever be my question.
Perfect, even 50 states.
Yeah. 2 Carolinas.
2 Carolinas for sure. You could argue.
Did you get the weather?
Really don't need that. Yeah, it's 36 degrees. in South Dakota right now.
Feels like -4.
Good news, they're playing in a dome.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Feels like 27.
Feels like
So there you go.
Feels like
Good luck,
27. Hey, Jason.
Good
get
luck,
some handle.
my man.
And by the way, just from my time out there in Philly, as we talked to Philly guy himself, Philly native Jason Dumas at 1 p.m. from Cron 4 in the Bay Area, sports director. You know, I don't think hand warmers work. And I don't know if people need to whip them out sometimes at Tahoe and things like that. They don't work for me.
Huh.
They don't work.
Now, what do you mean by they don't work? Like they don't actually warm up your hands? Like you don't feel the warmth coming from them?
So I would put them in my back pocket when I was freezing in the outfield.
Right.
And it didn't do anything for me.
Not even like temporary relief. Like I understand if it doesn't permanently, like, like warm it up for the
I
next
would try
5
to put
minutes or
them
something.
I wouldn't go up to bat like this.
Right.
But I would put them in my batting gloves and just think about how warm it is in California right now. And I thought they were a waste of money. Maybe I bought the wrong brand. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do hand warmers work? The Niners will probably need some hand warmers this
my
weekend.
God. Yeah. No, they're going to need that big giant heater on the sideline.
Right,
1,000%. I don't think Kyle Shanahan subscribes to that like old Bud Grant Vikings mentality of, oh no, we're going to go out there and no, I don't want to see anybody rocking long sleeves or anything like that. No, in today's day and age, you put on that massive jacket and you sit as close to that heater as possible.
Here on this Fun Friday, what is the corniest thing players can do? Here are the options.
Slap the ground.
You beat me to it.
Yeah.
So so let's think of a list. Be a part of this list as well. 916-339-1140. Text line, call line, YouTube chat. We got to think of a name for the YouTube chat. I meant to tell you.
Yeah, we got to.
We'll think of a name over this week. I got some ideas.
Okay.
But I don't want to premiere them live until I get the okay from Chris. Okay. So you have slapping the ground as a basketball player and then proceeding to get cooked. Whether you get cooked or not, it's just bad luck.
Yeah.
I have another one.
Okay.
Who's going to be the guy or who's going to be the team or a couple guys this season when it's really, really cold? Snowing, and they come out of the tunnel with no shirt on.
Right. For the warm-ups.
For the warm-ups to show I don't care. And then who did it last season?
I don't know. It's
smacked.
an Odell move, though.
They
That's
got
a
smacked.
big Odell move.
So who's going to be that guy, that
DK.
team? Probably DK.
Right.
You know, he's just showing off,
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
we know
it's
DK.
It's like,
we know.
I get it.
Someone on the Buffalo Bills. Like, didn't the
It
Bills
wouldn't be
lineman
the
already
Bills.
do it?
It wouldn't be the Bills because they're I guess they're showing we don't care.
Right.
But I think last season, if I'm not mistaken, we'll find it during the break. It was a team coming to say we don't care.
I feel like it was DK.
Wasn't it DK?
He just like if it's not, it might as well have been.
That man's not wearing a shirt 50% of the time.
Exactly.
Your bet is good.
That's more where I was coming from. I was like, I feel like 90% of the time I see DK Metcalf, he doesn't have a shirt on. So it feels like it was.
Here you go. This was 2022. Crazy warm up that is. Here you go. Crazy warm up that's sweeping the NFL. Seahawks players go topless at 10 degrees Fahrenheit. That's when they were playing the Chiefs. It is when they were playing.
I remember
Chiefs.
Is there any specific Seahawk mentioned?
Let's see here.
Because again, there's a prime
led
candidate
by receiver DK Metcalf. Yeah, and he actually had that pretty cool celebration last night. He did the stand on business and sign language. But yeah, the Seahawks lost 24-10, which is just even more hilarious to me.
They also scored 3 points in the first half.
Incredible.
That's just shout
Really
out
set the
DK.
tone.
You really set the tone there. You
really couldn't look stupider.
Yeah, right.
than trying to look all macho and intimidating
In-
pregame.
In
It's
fairness to DK, he did have 7 catches for 81 yards.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, because
There
he was
you
trying
go.
to warm
He
up.
stand on
He was
business,
freezing.
and he was the memes last night for Bland getting just cooked by DK.
Hey, now.
I mean, you know
Watch the
what?
slander.
So here's the question. No. I'm just
Sac
saying.
State's finest.
No, I hear you. But here's my question.
He was catching a lot of heat.
So Swipa,
Mhm.
right? De'Aaron Fox. We talk about defending and how steals kind of mean good defense,
Right.
but not really. Steph Curry got a lot of steals. You get a lot of steals. It doesn't necessarily. Allen Iverson. It really just means you're quick. Do interceptions?
Or you take risks.
Are steals the same as interceptions?
Yes.
Do interceptions actually make you a good corner?
No. Trayvon Diggs. I mean, Trayvon Diggs literally made a living off of just taking risks and
Right.
going for interceptions. And Sometimes he gets beat. Sometimes he gets the pick.
But that was early in his career. Like before he got hurt
last
this
season.
But before he got hurt this year, he was the number 1 graded corner in the league.
Okay,
like he's a legitimately
sure, okay.
elite corner.
I was just using him as the example.
But
of
last
he did
season,
that in his rookie season.
last season, he had the most picks, right? Yeah. And also the most yards gained against him as a corner.
Yeah, for sure. He's the weird exception. Chris is right.
I'm right too. We're both right. There you go, Kyle. Glad to have you back, Kyle.
Steals are the equivalent of interceptions, yes.
I would say so, right?
Where it's like, in reality, that's why Mike Brown never brings up steals. He never brings up blocks. He talks about deflections. And it's the same thing where I'm sure NFL coaches, they probably don't really talk about interceptions. They're more like passes broken up and, things like that. That's a lot more important to them than actually getting the interception and, getting, pick sixes even. That's at least you're getting points, but like that's kind of a arbitrary stat as well.
Right. It's all about calculated risks. Yeah. Right. All about calculated risk, because we've seen, I think was it either last game or 2 games ago? It was definitely against the Warriors, because I remember sitting next to you and De'Aaron, I think he was on Saric and he went for the steal and Saric just went around him. Right. So it's all about calculated risk, and you can't do too much. That's really not what you want to do. And hopefully the Kings don't try to do too much against the Nuggets when they come to town, because Jokic is probably one of those guys, I would imagine, the ball is just right in front of you because he's a big dude and he doesn't even feel like he dribbles that much once he crosses half court. But there's going to be opportunities that you feel you can get it, but he's going to bait you into some things, and then he's going to take a shot above his forehead from 3 feet beyond 3-point range and go it.
Yeah, no, I mean, and the Kings need to make sure that they don't hyper focus on Jokic, though, just because even regardless of if Jamal Murray's playing or not. I remember there was a game last year where the Kings played Denver in Sacramento, and Jokic had like 3 first half points, and he really just took the entire first half to get everybody else going, because that's really the key with them. When we were talking earlier, it's like Jokic, that dude can get 35, 15, and 15 every single night. So if he can get the other guys going first, his game is going to come. His scoring ability is effortless almost at times, depending on who you put on him. What's key for Denver is that, Michael Porter Jr. gets going, and you got to worry about him. If you can get Aaron Gordon cutting to the rim and being a lob threat, well, now you're worried about those guys. That's when Jokic can take advantage of one-on-ones, and that's when he's the most dangerous. So, again, I feel like I say this every time, guard everybody. Don't just hyper focus on the stars, because the last thing you want is, like we've seen these last 2 games, the guys who haven't traditionally for those teams, whether it's Clay or Wiggins in that Golden State game, or James Harden putting up 18 first quarter points against the Clippers. The Kings cannot let guys who aren't traditionally going to get going, can't let them kill you. You just can't do it. You got to let the Nuggets let Jokic beat you almost is the best course of action. Just let him try and get his and stop everybody else. But, that's why he's the best, man. He really knows how to just read the situation. He'll do whatever the defense gives you. And he's just the best in the league at recognizing that and adjusting depending on how teams guard him.
Yeah. And, the others, as we call them on both sides, on both teams. Aaron Gordon, by the way, San Jose guy, Bay Area guy. Shout out. There you go. Shout out Aaron Gordon. But a question that I have for Aaron Gordon, is we got to get to a break, is he goes from being not the runner-up in the dunk contest. Is he just a guy who did not develop offensively? Good athleticism, did not develop offensively, and then, hey, I can be a darn good defender, right? Like in with the Magic, I don't remember him being, I guess with the Magic, that's when they were trying to figure out, are you going to do anything defensively? Are you going to be a superstar, or are you going to be a rotation guy? Right. And then he gets to the Nuggets, and hey, at this point, you're going to be a really good rotation guy. You're going to have a goal, and it's just his offense. Now that he doesn't really need to be that offensive guy, kind of Draymond Green the situation, and he is it the chicken or the egg? Did he not really develop offensively because he hasn't had to, or do you think he had enough time to try to develop into something in Orlando and it didn't happen? So hey, now this is who you are in the league.
Yeah, no, I think Orlando wanted his game to expand, but I just don't think that was best for him. Kind of like what we're seeing with Keegan. I think it's something kind of similar to that, more in the sense of just they wanted Aaron Gordon to do more than what they had seen from him before and just wanted to see, are you capable of kind of holding that level of workload? And ultimately, it's not really a sign of anything Aaron Gordon. It's not Aaron Gordon's fault, but I just think he's a lot better suited leaning into his strengths, and that's being an athletic freak. Like I mean, as we know from the Doug contest, dude can jump out the gym. And those are the things that Denver really highlighted, was just his athleticism. They needed him to be a lob threat for Jokic and to be able to cut. And also, Jokic isn't the best defender, so they needed Aaron Gordon to be able to kind of go and be that really good, versatile four that can defend tons of different guys.
There you go. Got to get to a break. When we get back, we are comparing the twosomes, Jokic and Murray versus Sabonis and Fox. And I asked Chris a very tough question about two guys that he thinks are generational talents. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The showdown is almost here. This Sunday, the San Francisco 49ers have their shot at revenge as they head to Philadelphia to face Jalen Hurts and the Eagles.
Play action, deep drop, pressured right away by Young and sacked by Eric Armstead. But it was Chase Young that got him off the spot. Get in my belly.
The Niners have waited for this game all year, and it's finally here. Sunday at 1 on your home of the 49ers, Sactown Sports.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win. Unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion, persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit KHTK.com.
It's no secret to golf enthusiasts that Timber Creek and Sierra Pines in Roseville are one of the region's most unique and scenic places to enjoy a great game of golf. 27 holes, boundless options. Elevate your game on our newly renovated driving range, putting green, and chipping area. Whether you're aiming for fun, lower scores, or all-around growth, we've got you covered. Experience golfing dreams in Roseville and book your tee time at timbercreekgc.com. Timber Creek and Sierra Pines, your ultimate golf haven.
Live and local, it's Stiles and Watkins. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. We will have Jason Dumas of KRON, Cron 4 News sports director, originally from Philly, but covers the Niners now, all Bay Area sports, but covers the Niners. We will have him at 1 p.m. to talk Niners versus the Birds. And I saw it. The Niners are going to play the the Seahawks again.
Right.
So it goes, I believe it goes, when I saw the Birds schedule, it goes Seahawks, Eagles, Seahawks, Ravens, Cardinals. The bird line.
Jeez. That's terrible.
That's a lot of birds.
I mean, can't be a coincidence, right? The NFL schedule makers had to have lined that up and been like, this is awesome.
Yeah, this is funny. Well, because they're going to have people like Dave, when it's done, say the Niners are the first team to go 8-0 against all bird opponents.
Ridiculous. Oh my God. The stat muses. And
no,
all
I
that
love
stuff.
it. You do not.
I don't. I mean, it's funny. It's whatever. It's a funny anecdote, but it's like one of those things that some people do actually like think is real.
There you go.
Too bad they didn't play the Falcons this year.
Oh, that's the one. That's the one. Is that it?
The circle. Cardinals, Falcons, Eagles,
Ravens.
Yeah.
Seahawks. Yeah, I think that's it.
I think that's it.
That's all the birds.
All the birds. For the birds.
For the birds out there.
916-339-1140. As we talked about corny things to do on a field or court from the 916. Honorable mention, clapping while guarding his defender and backpedaling from Chris.
Yeah, I mean that kind of follows the ground slap. You gotta slap the ground first.
Yeah. It's part of That's honorable mention. That's part of it.
Yeah.
That's part of it.
I know we've normalized this one in sports, but the putting up the 4 or putting up the
that's
fist
a good
at the start
one.
of the
That's
fourth
a good
quarter.
one. When defenders put up the hold, right? They'll put up the fist, and it's clearly a first down.
I wasn't even going that.
Down.
That's a good one too. Like when who was the receiver who signaled first, even though he was short on a fourth down? Was that Juju Smith-Schuster? Maybe.
I don't know. I know Pacheco does it. I think on every play. He cracks me up. By the way, I could watch him run. All day.
I was saying like at the end of the third quarter when teams all put up the 4, because it's their quarter.
Like high school and
that's
stuff.
high school and a little bit of college.
NFL does it too, dude.
No, they do not.
I mean, yes, it is more college, but I've seen
Text me if you see it this Sunday.
Okay.
Text me I guess if it's a close game. But that reminds me of Friday Night Lights. We got to win state. If we don't win state.
But it's so funny now because it was, I was watching, I think it was like Florida State against like Boston College, and both teams did it. I'm like, you're Boston College. Why are you putting up the 4?
No, we'll see what happens in the fourth. You also have, Chris, the defender where it's a bad throw. And they're doing their arms like,
the DB
strap. I got you strapped up.
Can't stand that.
Oh, it's hilarious. It's a keep them coming.
I hate the every NBA person just calling for reviews.
I got you.
Now.
I got you. So that's the one where as soon as a foul is the look up. You look up to the screen.
Yeah.
Look up. I got to see this. There's no way. There's no way.
Every time.
Yeah, the
Every
look up. Keep them coming. There are plenty here on this fun Friday, and here is the tough question I have for Chris Watkins.
Yeah.
This is a guy. Now, it's going to be interesting because one guy is way more accomplished, but also a little bit older. When it's all said and done, who will be more generational of a talent?
Oh, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know where I'm going.
I feel like I know
Yes,
where
you do.
you're going.
You do.
Okay.
Nikola Jokic, who the Kings will see tomorrow night.
Yep.
Let's see how well we know each other.
No,
Who's
I know where you're going. I already know where you're
then
going.
say it.
Yeah, the big boy, the other big boy, Luka. Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Jokic.
Wow, it's been over a month.
Yeah,
You're
it's
going to know
been
each
over
other
a
so
month,
well. Who will be more generational when it's all said and done?
That's a fantastic question. And it's tough because, I mean, if all things were equal, if Jokic didn't win a title, I probably would say Luka. But it's kind of tough to try and figure out the next couple of years for Luka and see how a championship somehow just emerges out of nowhere. I mean, to go from not even being a top 10 seed in the West last year to winning a title in the next 2 years or whatever seems unlikely. And it feels like Jokic at the very least, I mean, he's already got one. And who knows? I mean, who knows if they can make a run this year or a couple of years down the road, but their team is definitely a lot more in a win now territory than Dallas. I kind of want to say Jokic. It's also like Jokic has a little bit of an easier climb
28.
positionally as well, where it's like, some of the all-time great centers, he's already kind of knocking on the door of being like a top 5 center of all time, as crazy as that sounds. And Luka would kind of already, like, even just being the best forward of this generation would be tough. Like, you would have to obviously beat out guys like LeBron, but even being better than KD,
Tatum,
like,
right?
Or Tatum, right. I mean, both of those guys are pretty much at the same point in their career. It's going to be a lot tougher for Luka. I feel like Luka has statistically, like, it feels like he has a better chance of putting up numbers that we've truly never seen before. But I mean, at the same time, Jokic has almost already done that.
He's already.
I mean, it's
it.
really an impossible question, but I'll give Jokic just because he already has a 1-0 lead in titles.
Yeah, and MVPs.
Right?
Yeah,
I didn't even
MVPs.
think the MVP part.
Yeah.
Luka doesn't have any MVP, so actually, it's kind of Jokic is running away with that race right now when you think about it.
Yeah, I think it would be closer.
You said 2-year age gap right now?
No. So it's 4 years.
Oh, okay.
So,
I mean, well, that's pretty significant.
Yeah. So Jokic is 28, Luka is 24, but honestly, I would go the opposite of where you're about to go. And even though Luka is Luka, the question is, can Luka accomplish? Well, one, Jokic would have to stop accomplishing anything.
Right.
And then
they're direct.
in 4 years, do you think Luka will be sniffing what Jokic has done. And I
There's
don't
a
know.
chance.
We haven't talked about Mark Cuban selling the team, but
Great
still has
point.
control.
Right.
We don't know what's going on with the Mavericks.
Right.
And, you know,
they're tied in with Kyrie right now. So
he has
being
to
in the
start
Kyrie
now.
business
is dicey.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything about your future being positive if you're in the Kyrie business.
He's
So,
got to start
it's tough.
winning now.
Yeah, and that's the
Something,
whether
awards,
MVP,
something.
He's got to
Yeah.
win the accolade in season. Well, I think they're actually out of the
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that's a great question, and I mean, I would probably have to stick with Jokic, but I mean, yeah, if you're trying to think of what the next 4 years best case scenario for Luka, maybe Luka can win an MVP this year. There's a chance. I mean, Dallas is playing really well. He's of course playing really well. But even then, Jokic already has 2, right? I mean, that's tough. That's really tough. I don't know. And yeah, at what point does it get? I've been wondering this recently. You mentioned Mark Cuban selling the team. A lot of instability. We're already kind of on Luka squad part 3 or 4.
Yeah.
At what point does Luka kind of look around and say, "Hey, I'm doing this right? I'd like to request a trade out of here because it feels like you guys have had this great talent for 8 years now and don't really have anything to show for it. Last time I checked in the NBA, if that happens, if you've been in a place for a long time, now is about the time to ask out. And you know, it wouldn't surprise me if Luka at some point looks at his options. I think he's really happy in Dallas right now. But you know, if this Kyrie thing blows up, or if it's just they don't have the ceiling that they think they have, I just wonder if Luka at some point starts to grow a little unhappy.
Yeah.
We know he likes to complain to referees at least.
Right. Is he complaining to Mark Cuban? Is that going to happen next? Yeah. You have to go Jokic because he has the head start.
He's got the better situation around him too.
Right. And when you talk about generational, we're not necessarily talking about it's hard to measure because is it all based on accolades? Maybe not, but
that doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt at all. And if you're looking at what Jokic has already done and where Luka is, I would never say that 24 is old.
Right.
It's more about, does anybody right now, even as a Kings fan, is anybody worried about the Mavs doing anything this season?
I don't think seriously, no.
Or next
because
season.
they're relying so much. I mean, they rely so much on those two guys.
Right.
Like they've got Derek Lively and Seth Curry in their starting lineup, and it's like
Hardaway
it's
Jr.
like, bless those guys, but that's not a Western Conference Finals team unless Luka and Kyrie are combining for like 70 points and Luka's averaging a triple-double in the playoffs or something. It's a really tough path to see how Dallas kind of turns it around quickly. And I mean, I've loved Mark Cuban's as an owner. I think he's done a great job of constantly trying to keep that organization relevant. I just wonder how much I know he's still going to be heavily involved in basketball operations. I think he's still going to be the head of it, but I just wonder how much all that's going to affect it. Like, all that stuff is new, and it just takes one little thing of Luka disagreeing with the direction of how things go for this thing to completely go sideways.
Yeah, you got one with Dirk, so he did get his one as an owner, and Dirk was much less of a curious case. You knew what Dirk needed to be successful with Luka, and he is almost a jack of all trades. It's a lot harder to figure out. Mark is saying, we're trying.
Yeah.
We got Porzingis, got him out of here. Jalen Brunson, and now you got Kyrie. We're trying to figure it out as the West is just a ridiculous. Yes, right now it is a mess. Got to get to a break. When we get back, try to take your Homer hat off. I know it's tough.
I can try.
Jokic and Murray or Sabonis and Fox? Which duo would you rather have? Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
Yep, 'tis the season. Hi, if you're like me, you take pride in your gift giving. Well, I've got a terrific idea for you. Gift cards from the Good Feet store. Okay, so arch supports aren't exactly what they've been hinting for, but you know they'd love them. And with the Good Feet lifetime warranty, it's a gift they'll enjoy forever. Buy a Good Feet gift card now, and Good Feet will boost its value 20%. That's a 20% gift free from the Good Feet store. If you have someone on your list who's on their feet all day, has sore feet, knee, hip, or back pain, or even plantar fasciitis, maybe needs an energy boost, or just wants to maintain their active lifestyle, a Good Feet Arch Support gift card could be the perfect gift.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
Local, it's Stiles and Watkins. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. 916-339-1140 is the number. Can you be objective about this? Who is the duo you would rather have? Not tomorrow night, just in general, because Jamal Murray, we don't even know if he's playing, coming off that ankle, after coming off that hamstring. Who is the duo you would rather have for the next, let's say, 5 years? Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, or De'Aaron Fox and Domas Sabonis? I'm gonna go first here.
Please.
And it's tough. We know the obvious, right? Jokic is better than Sabonis, and I think De'Aaron Fox is better than his Kentucky brother in Jamal Murray.
Kentucky connection.
That's why I know Jamal trying to play tomorrow night, right? Because you got him and Malik Monk. But the question is the gap between De'Aaron Fox and Jamal Murray. And if you put Jamal Murray, and I know this is another overused sports tactic, putting guys on other teams and other dimensions, but I'm going to do it here. If you put Jamal Murray on the Kings last season, they are not the 3 seed.
No.
They are not the 3 seed.
No.
In place of Fox, you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they are definitely not the 3 seed. Now, how much does that mean? Does that make up for the difference between Jokic and Sabonis? That's the question. Next 5 years, this is really tough. And I guess I would have to include injury history. This is really tough. And Sabonis, we've chronicled his struggles these last couple games. Hopefully he comes out. We'll do our dog segment tonight or today because we won't be here tomorrow. Thank you, Kyle. While I'm thinking,
I got a quick answer, please. I think you have to go.
I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think you have to go. I think Do you have to take the chance with Sabonis? Or sorry, do you have to take the chance with Jokic and go Jokic, Murray?
For me, it's Jokic, Murray, and I don't even have to think about it for a second.
Yeah, same.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it all Jokic?
No. I mean, for me, it's more of a team building thing where I've been saying this for a while. Fox and Sabonis are a really difficult pair to build around. Shout out Monty McNair, because the problem is when you have two non-shooters on the floor, that means the other three guys on the floor have to be shooters. And with Sabonis's defensive limitations, you also you just need very specific players to fill in the rest of that lineup. And when you have Jamal Murray and Jokic, you can realistically put whatever lineups you want out there. Like because those two can still shoot, you don't have to worry about spacing.
The Aaron Gordon. You can have an Aaron Gordon.
You can have an Aaron
there.
Gordon. You can have two non-shooters. You can have a Bruce Brown and an Aaron Gordon out there, because you don't have to worry about the guys who have the ball in their hands most for those two teams. They can both shoot, so you don't have to worry about the floor being shrunk or anything like that. They're both perfect for today's modern age. I mean, honestly, I wish De'Aaron could shoot like Jamal Murray. I think, especially with how the league is
getting
in
there.
today's.
He's getting there.
He's not.
He is getting there.
He's
Chris.
just not. He's just not.
Chris, isn't he shooting better? Isn't he shooting better than last season?
Yes, he is. He's up from 32 or 34% up to 36%.
And what's Jamal Murray?
Jamal Murray's near 40 for his entire career. He's a really dynamite.
Like I said, he's getting there.
He's not going to get to 40 though. Like 36 or 37, 38 is about as good as you can hope for.
But I wouldn't say shooting is like running a 40. I wouldn't say shooting is like speed, right? If you were born a 4.7 guy, what's the fastest you think you can get to if you train your butt off? 4.5, right? I think that you can. I think that your percentage points in shooting.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think Davion Mitchell can't shoot, and he never will be able to shoot. Like, I think Mike Conley is somebody who's like progressively gotten to a 37.
What's the percentage you think you can improve? If I come into the league at 35,
sure.
What's the best I can get?
I mean, it kind of depends on potential as well. Like Kawhi Leonard, somebody who came into the league and couldn't shoot at all, and now he's able to shoot 40%. So realistically, anybody can do it if you have the work ethic and you have the ability to do
Chris,
it.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Who's De'Aaron Fox? Can you remind me who he signed to?
Clutch.
No, his shoes.
Oh, Steph Curry.
Steph might be able to shoot.
What's Steph Curry gonna do?
Well, I'm just saying.
Davion Mitchell just spent the entire summer working out with Steph's personal shooting coach.
That's not Steph.
Alan, you remember 7 years ago when people thought there was going to be 1 million Steph Currys that would enter the league 10 years from now?
Buddy Hield, Trae Young,
not going to happen.
I'm not saying he's going to shoot like Steph. I'm saying he can continue to improve.
He's not going to shoot.
I don't
better
think
than
Steph
Jamal
is going to give him pointers.
The point is, he can get close enough to Jamal Murray, shooting wise. So basically, you don't think the gap between Jamal Murray and De'Aaron Fox is that big?
That's not what No, I think the gap is big. I just think, I also think the Sabonis Jokic gap is pretty massive. And for me, again, it kind of just more comes down to stylistically. I would much rather have two guys that I can space the floor with and feel like I can really build a team around than Fox and Sabonis, who, again, I feel like when you have De'Aaron out there, you got to have a dynamite shooter at the 2. You got to have somebody who can shoot at the 3. You got to have someone who can play defense and protect the rim at the 4 and still shoot, because Sabonis can't protect the rim at an elite level.
Or less flexible.
So for me, it really just comes down to the team building exercise, and I just feel like you have to worry about fit a lot less when you're dealing with Jokic and Murray, less so than you would have to think about the fit next to Fox and Sabonis.
Yeah, so I guess where these things get hairy is it's two talents versus two talents versus construction of a team.
Yeah, it's styles too. Yeah, both those guys are more paint centric versus guys who are a little bit more perimeter centric.
Right. So talent wise, it's not that it's as ridiculously of a quick answer as you're saying.
Yeah.
But roster construction wise, if you're Monty McNair, you're saying it was much easier to build a team around Jokic and Murray, and that's why they already have a championship, right? I guess that's the trump card right there. We have Scooter916 from the YouTube chat. Why is it only about shooting? I think Fox is a much better overall player than Murray. Yeah, I guess that's what we're kind of highlighting here, that if you're looking at a team and you're trying to construct a roster, well, here's the thing. you were looking at OG, and I think OG's better shooter than Aaron Gordon, but you would have OG on the floor who is more of a defense guy. Yeah. You're just saying, we need defense, but we need to get something.
You're sacrificing some shooting, but OG can shoot maybe at like a 38% clip, which is okay, but also like you can't just have OG be a complete non-shooter at all, because the Kings have tried that. Last year, they tried to start KZ Okpala. In the past, they've tried to start Mo Harkless, who are guys who just bring the defense in the length.
Yeah.
But the problem is those guys are pariahs on offense, and it sticks out a ton when the Kings run this motion three-point shooting centric offense, and they have three guys on the floor who can't shoot. So then Sabonis isn't a threat to shoot when he's got the ball at the high post running the dribble handoff stuff. Fox isn't really a legitimate three-point threat that you're going to close out on tight. And then if Mo Harkless or KZ Okpala is out there, you're just completely leaving them. So it really makes it's just more about making it more difficult on you. It's not even necessarily, NBA shooting is at a premium nowadays, because I think you look at the Orlando Magic, you don't have to be able to shoot threes in order to win ball games. There's different ways of winning ball games. I just think aesthetically it's a little bit better, and I feel like it's, again, just a little bit easier of a team building exercise with how the game is played today to have those two guys out there.
When it comes to defending teams and being an elite defensive team and being an elite offensive team and being a good team all together, as simple as it sounds, it's easy to say, okay, everybody's got, if you're in contention, you have a legit 1, you have a legit 2 options, right? Yeah. Your first option, your second option. And a lot of these teams these days have a legit third option. But what did we see? And I know you were joking about Moses Moody and the Kings got the W, but teams are always going to leave somebody. Most teams defensively have to leave somebody because of the star power, specifically in the Western Conference. So having a De'Aaron Fox or having a Sabonis versus having a Jokic and Murray, that fourth option is much more important, I guess, on a team with Sabonis and Fox than it is on a team with Jokic and Murray, because if that fourth option is Aaron Gordon, you can live with it more so than Aaron Gordon being on the Kings. But it's no indictment on the talent that De'Aaron Fox possesses himself. And Sabonis, it's really just about roster construction. Chris is putting on his GM hat, right? But the only thing I would say, and not to try to be prisoner of the moment here, would be injury with Jamal Murray.
Of course, and that's a major red flag, absolutely. But also, then if you want to take it to the Jokic side, we're not having generational conversations about De'Aaron Fox. I love De'Aaron Fox. He's
not yet
out of control. You kind of see those things. It's
yes.
I can also get into a dark conversation about.
No, it's a Friday. It's a fun Friday. We're not going there.
Yeah, we don't need to go there. But I feel like Jokic is just, that guy is foolproof. The only thing that's going to stop Nikola Jokic from being like a all-time great for the next 10 years is if he truly doesn't love basketball and he's like, I'm tired of this and I just want to watch my horses.
Yeah, horse racing.
That's the only thing that's going to stop him.
There you go.
He's only going to get better. He's going to get more physically dominant as he enters his 30s, and you also really don't have to worry about like injuries derailing his career. Now, can he be injured? Of course, but like if Jokic tears his ACL or something, I don't think his style of play coming back is going to be a whole lot different. No. And that's a little bit more of a concern when we're talking about, if we're going to talk about injuries, like aging guys. I've always wondered this. I asked G-Man about it actually the other day. De'Aaron Fox, like post-injury, I don't want to talk about it, but De'Aaron's game is heavily reliant on athleticism, finishing at the rim. Well, we saw what's happened with guys like we talked about Derrick Rose, about John Wall, about even Russell Westbrook. A lot of those guys' careers are pretty much over by the time they're 32.
Those are skywalkers, though.
De'Aaron's game, it's more just their games are heavily based on athleticism.
Right. I would even argue, to even take it away from that, I would even argue just the fact that De'Aaron drives so much.
Sure. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
And when you get older in your career, gotta get to a break. When you get older in your career, that's when you see the Vince Carters of the world develop a jump shot.
Exactly.
Because I'm trying to chill. When I come back from Achilles, I'm going to have to work on a jump shot because I'm not going to be driving
get to the rim
to the cup anymore. Got to get to a break. When we get back, The Ringer had a great article about the Kings, whether they can level up or are they hitting a ceiling. We break all of that down and more. Got some Niners talk coming up in 15 minutes with Jason Dumont, Stiles, and Watkins. Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings conquered the Thunder, the Spurs, the T-Wolves, and Warriors for an undefeated run through Group C of the in-season tournament.
Tough ball away, bank shot is good. The lead bump somehow banks it home. 7.4 seconds to go.
Now it's the knockout stage in a matchup with the New Orleans Pelicans.
Losers out. Winners off to Las Vegas.
Join us for Kings and Pelicans, Monday at 7 on Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
This is the moment you've been waiting for. Hanley's Kia in Davis is bringing you an unbeatable deal on all 2024 Kia models. Drive home in style without breaking the bank. Introducing Hanley's Kia incredible leasing option for just $199 a month. Picture yourself behind the wheel of a brand new 2024 Kia, loaded with the latest features and cutting-edge technology. Whether it's the sleek Niro Hybrid with 54 mpg and EV6 with up to 310 miles, the versatile Sportage, or the family-friendly Telluride, at Hanley's Kia, you can also reserve your luxurious full-size EV9 with 3 rows that has the comfort of a stylish interior and the peace of mind that comes with driving a brand you can trust. Head over to Hanley's Kia today, located in Davis.
New 2024 Kia Niro Hybrid EX for $199 per month for 36 months after $7,999 customer cash due at signing plus $300 military customer rebate. 10,000 miles per year and 20 cents per mile after 30,000 miles based on sale price $30,545 and payment excludes taxes and DMV fees and any dealer fees. Vehicle ID number R5136-138.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BC. That's 844-769-3729 or visit us at powercopiers.com.
I always approach the holidays with a sense of excitement and a time to be with family. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa for Naturewood Home Furnishings. For me, the best times were when there were 3 generations all celebrating together. Today, we're the grandparents and the holiday spotlight shines on my grandson. And I hope he'll remember holidays the way his papa does. Right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings will help you create your own kind of holiday memories during their holiday home sale. Unique gifts found only at Naturewood like hall trees, curios, chairside tables, and more are available at savings of 20% off. During Naturewood's holiday home sale, you'll find savings all around the store for every room in your home. Find your perfect bit of Christmas for your home at Naturewood Home Furnishings holiday home sale going on right now. The memories you make with your family will live with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 916-277-8599 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Sacramento has a new tag team in the midday. It's Stiles and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. The Ringer wrote an article about the Kings, and they break down whether the Kings can level up or are they hitting a ceiling. Chris Watkins, you made me hip to the Ringer. What did you think about the article?
It was a great article, actually. I would highly recommend everybody read it. It's kind of a little bit of a it kind of starts as a state of the state a little bit, like how we got here. Talks a lot about De'Aaron and his growth and his development, and what's been the difference from this year and last year and in the past. Just what's been the biggest reason for this now MVP talk that he's in, and then just kind of it ends up kind of spiraling into Mike Brown and his impact. Talks a little bit about Keegan as well, and then ends the article, as we like to do a lot on this show, of course, with some trade machine stuff, with talking about what is, because ultimately the title of the article, for people who want to go look at it, is, can the Kings level up or are they hitting their ceiling? And the ultimate goal or whatever by the end of the article is to try and figure out, much like what we've been talking about pretty much all season, is what is the move for this Kings team? Is it sticking with continuity? Is it Fox and Sabonis are the future? Is it OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam being brought over? Or is there some other, should the Kings be patient and maybe wait for, a Karl Anthony Towns or whatever to become disgruntled or whoever that next big star might be? It's a really, really good read. I would heavily recommend everybody goes out and reads it. It's by Sharat Sohi. I'm sorry, excuse me, Sharat Sohi of the Ringer. Would really, really highly recommend for any Kings fans out there.
There you go. And, there comes a time in every man's life. There comes a time in every team's life and every team's cycle where you think you have a lot of time, and it's honestly something that only comes with success. If the Kings don't make the playoffs last season and they're not a 3 seed, they have different questions. Yeah. But honestly, questions that they're used to.
Yes.
That they're more so used to. Yeah. These are questions that Kings and Kings fans haven't been used to because, you have the conversation about measuring success and what has been a good run, right? Let's use the Niners, for example. Kyle Shanahan, it's been a great run so far. NFC championships.
Undeniably.
Yes. You've been to a Super Bowl, haven't been able to get it done yet. You've had some injuries. And it looks like right now you did it with the quarterback that just hasn't been very good in Jimmy Garoppolo, or isn't very good. Maybe pre-injury, Jimmy, doesn't matter because a lot of the things that you did was Jimmy while after, he had those injuries and while he was getting injured coming back and missing draft picks, you've been able to power through these things. But as of right now, if Kyle Shanahan were to say, I'm out, I'm leaving, it gets to the conversation of how do you measure that success? Right. And Kyle Shanahan, if you are a Niner fan, would you say that the Kyle Shanahan era was a success?
Right.
I would say you'd have to say yes if you're talking to your buddy who's a Raider fan.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say.
But if you hold yourself, it depends on what your expectations are.
Quest for 6 or whatever,
Quest for 6, that didn't last very long. That was their slogan for, I think, one season, and it just imploded. But if that's your expectation, hey, we win Super Bowls. And, I mean, there's some Raider fans that feel the same way. That was a further longer time ago, but there's some Raider fans that feel the same way. But Kyle Shanahan says, I'm out. I'm going to wherever it is. Would you call Kyle Shanahan's time a success? I think most people would say yes.
I feel like you have to.
You'd have to.
You have to. Like, you can't be too lost in the day-to-day of everything to say – but he never, he never got over the hump, and Kyle was brought here to bring a championship and he didn't bring a championship, so it's a failure. I mean, you got to look at, like you said, the relative, it's not even relative. It's just is like he was successful. All you can ask, I say this all the time, all you can ask is to be in the race, like have a chance at winning. And they've put themselves close enough to be in the conversation every single year. Most teams, and by most, I mean 98% of teams cannot say that over even a 3-year stretch. And the Niners have been able to do it for pretty much Kyle Shanahan's entire time for the most part. Of course, more years, more successful than others, but I think it has to be a success. There's no way. I mean, especially when you look at the Panthers can't keep their coach for 11 weeks. So I was like, I would consider Kyle Shanahan's run a success. Any team would take the run that the Niners are on right now. To me, that's undeniable success.
Since 2019, how many teams in the NFL do you think have above a 700 winning percentage?
Maybe
1 or 2.
Yeah.
I would say 2.
It's 5.
Wow.
And one of them is the Niners.
Yeah.
And they've been to 3 NFC championship games in those 4 years.
There you go. Now,
it's a huge success.
Now, I would say success is relative, right? So here we go. The Niners, most people would call it a success if Kyle Shanahan stopped coaching right now. I just want to kick it with my kids. I'm good, right? Kings, 2000s, Chris Webber, the crew. Was that a success? Didn't win the big one.
Absolutely.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Now, if, let's say, because things can change, right? When the Warriors stunk, it was a little bit different. Now, let's say the big 3 right off into the sunset, and Kuminga proves Chris wrong and turns things around, and Moody turns things, Pajemski, whoever, and they have a similar run to the Kings. Now, I'm going crazy here. Okay. Right, I'm going. I
thought you were going to say another.
No. There's no way.
More titles.
There's no way.
So let's say
no, you would have kicked me out of the studio.
In the next 6 years, let's say 2 conference finals, 6 playoff appearances, but they never get back to the finals.
Right, with this new regime, the younger version, or this new era of Warrior fans, I think Warrior fans would still appreciate it, but I think there are a lot of Warrior fans that wouldn't, because hey, now all of a sudden, for example, the Patriots, right? They struggled, and then Bill Belichick changed their view of success because they started winning. So I do think it matters. You know who's a name, and you know who's a good example of this, and I get on them because there's always one. There's always somebody. I'm going back to March Madness, maybe because March is my birthday. Maybe that's why I like March Madness so much. There's always one that's going to pick them, and everybody thinks it's finally going to be their year. And I get on them because I never picked them.
Yeah.
Mark Few and Gonzaga.
Yep.
He built that thing from the ground up.
Right.
The little old WCC conference. They have not won the big one. They've been to multiple national championships, have not won. You think the people, what is it, Spokane? Do you think that Gonzaga, would you consider Mark Few's time in Gonzaga success?
Yes.
Without a doubt.
It might be the most successful college basketball program, non-Duke and non-Kentucky of the last 20 years.
Pound for pound, possibly ever.
They're
based on what he's
one
given.
And dones.
Right, one and dones now.
At Gonzaga.
Nuts.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah, so success is relative.
Yeah.
But with all that being said, you are selling a product, and the goal is to win the whole thing.
Yep.
So the Kings are in a tough spot to where
Totally.
I think Sacramento Kings fans love just being in the race. It's been so long since
this
they've
is
been in the
already
race.
successful. Mike Brown's already been successful.
But if you're Mike Brown, if you're Monty McNair, you can't think like that.
No, you can't. No,
you can't think like that.
This is just the beginning.
You don't want to take a step back.
Right.
But now the question is, what can get us to that next level? Things might look. Now, here's the thing. You might make a move, and does that necessarily put you in better contention this season? Maybe it looks clunky.
Right.
Maybe it looks clunky, and now it's next season is the play, and Kings fans are saying, hey, we were chilling. What's the problem? Now you have a situation where it was Monte Ellis versus Steph Curry, and Warrior fans, Steph Curry can't stay on the court. He's got ankle problems.
Yeah.
What's going on? So the Kings have a lot of decisions to make, but ultimately I think that from what I've seen so far with Kings fans, they are currently enjoying being in the race. When does that change? I think this season will change a lot. I think it'll change a lot.
Probably can. I mean, yeah, once playoffs comes around, that's when we'll really get how people feel like this season should have gone. Like the regular season, you know, you have ebbs and you have flows. We're still pretty early in the season, but come playoff time, that's when, you know, it was hotly debated during the summer. Do the Kings have to make the second round in order for this season to be successful? It was a really hot button topic, and I think it's going to be reignited just once the playoffs come. To your point, that's when people will start having uproar. If the Kings lose in the first round, they can lose in 4, they can lose in 7. I don't think it's going to matter. People are going to say, well, see, you didn't get better. You didn't get better. And so, yeah, I mean, I could definitely see this kind of being the last season where this is fun. Really.
Right.
And this doesn't become just.
What are we?
The fan base almost, infighting.
Memphis Grizzly fans, the Zebo years,
Right.
was that considered a success? I know we got to get to a
Absolutely, I
break.
would say
Chris, 2-second answer.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins' time with the Vikings, success or not? 2 seconds, Chris.
Yes.
There you go.
I would say yes.
All right, Jason
Now you've
Dumont,
gone
when we
too
get back, Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-775-5622. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-775-5622. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-775-5622. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for by Cars R Us and Find the Children.
As we come together to celebrate the end of this long, long year, Stockton Honda has savings to bring us all cheer. Happy Honda Day savings and selection galore. Stockton Honda's online express purchase and great people give you more.
Save on 400 new Hondas at Stockton Honda during Happy Honda Days. Shop in person or online with our express purchase option.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee owned. Our attention to detail is second to none. Put our decades of experience serving our community to use for you. Get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112. Or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice.
Hello, I'm Frank Cockwell with Retirement Security Centers with a weekly economic update. Is the Federal Reserve jumping the shark or sticking the landing? Core inflation fell from 3.4% to 3% in October, slightly lower than the 3.1% forecast. Fed Chair Jerome Powell is seeking 6 months of tame inflation. Inflation is running at 2.5% over the past 6 months, which is edging closer to the 2% target. Personal income rose by 0.2%, while consumption also rose by 0.2% in October. The economy grew by a revised 5.2% rate annualized last quarter. Odds of a rate increase this December by the Fed decreased to 4%, while rate cut odds increased to 74% by May 31st, 2024. The Beige Book, which is a federal system publication that charts current economic conditions in 12 federal districts, was flat in 8 of the 12 districts, possibly indicating some renewed recessionary pressure. While the Federal Reserve tries to keep their rate increase show relevant, they risk jumping the shark versus a soft economic landing. How might this affect you or your family? Please go to frankontheradio.com to schedule an appointment, watch videos, and receive market updates. I'm ready to help you start your journey so you can define your future.
Frank Cockrell is a registered representative of Lincoln Financial Advisors Corporation, a broker-dealer member SIPC and registered investment advisor. Retirement Security Centers is not an affiliate of Lincoln Financial Advisors.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
Live and local, it's Stiles and Watkins. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. And we are joined by my guy, Jason Dumas, sports director for KRON Cron 4 News, also does work with 95.7 The Game. Jason, how are you doing, my friend, on this Friday?
What's up, man? I'm doing great. Nice day out. I'm in Union Square, about to head down to Santa Cruz. Nothing to complain about.
Wow. Oh, yeah, right, because you're doing Santa Cruz Warriors as well, right?
Yeah. Do the sideline for their home games. So they got a game against Portland's G League affiliate tonight, Rip City. So that should be a cool one. Santa Cruz 5-1 this year.
There you go. So Jason, I was gonna ask, with your ties to Philly, if you were going to be in Philly, because when I follow you on the gram, my nickname for you is Frequent Flyer, because you're all over the globe all the time. But it seems like you're hanging out this weekend. I have to ask. I know you cover the Niners. You're from Philly. Let me just ask, where does your allegiance lie?
Honestly, I'm a Philly guy, so I'm always going to favor Philly teams. They're in my heart, but I've been doing this long enough, man. It's my 11th year on TV. I've been doing it long enough where I can be objective and do my job correctly while also, deep down liking to see one of my team wins and everything. But at the end of the day, the game's going to play itself out, and I'm just going to get on TV and tell everybody what happened. Keep it real.
See, you have it much easier than me because, I got to break down Kings, and then people are like, aren't you from the Bay? And they're on my helmet out here, Jason. So I know you are not jealous of my situation.
Yeah, Jason, I was
No, not at all. And it's harder on radio. It's harder on radio because you're on the radio for 4 hours. You're giving your opinions as well. When I'm on TV, I don't really give my opinions. I kind of just present the facts and what happened and the storylines of the game. I don't really have to give my takes. But when you're on the radio, that can get yourself in trouble. People start flipping you and putting it on the internet, and then they're dragging you through the mud.
There you go.
Yeah, and our guy Alan don't know nothing about that, right? he don't know nothing about getting dragged through the mud on socials. Jason, I was wondering, the Eagles, a lot has been made of their record in one-score games, 7-1. And I'm a Vikings fan, and as a Vikings fan, last year that was the big talking point, and people were very quick to always throw in my face that the Vikings were fraudulent because of that one-score record. Do you feel like Philly falls into that same category a bit this year, or is that stat kind of not a one for all kind of thing?
You know what? When I saw that stat earlier this week, it threw me off guard, and then I thought about it. I was like, you know what? Every game has been pretty close. There was a couple, I'm pretty sure that Vikings game was a one-possession game, but the Eagles were kind of handling them the whole game. Kirk got the backdoor cover, which won me some money that week. But if the Eagles were like a one-hit wonder and they weren't good last year, I would put a little more stock in that. Like the Vikings, they kind of came out of nowhere. They were always like middle of the pack. And last year they were just really dominant. So I was like, might be an anomaly. But the Eagles, they've lost like 2 regular season games or Jalen Hurts has lost 2 regular season games in 2 years. The Eagles have been a playoff team for 3 years now. I think they've done a little much to be considered a lucky team. Do they win close games? Yeah, but they've been good for 3 seasons now. It's just who they are.
Talking to Jason Dumas, sports director for KRON Cron 4 News, also does work with 95.7 The Game and the sideline host for the Santa Cruz Warriors. Jason, I got to be honest. We pull back the curtain here on this show. I already knew what your answer was going to be to the Eagles questions. I was just letting our listeners know where your allegiance lies, because on social media, on X, on Twitter, you've been getting spicy a little bit with Niner fans and the conversations about Brock Purdy and Jalen Hurts for MVP. Why don't you let everybody know where you stand on it, and I guess the argument of Brock Purdy's throwing numbers versus Jalen Hurts and just the package that is Jalen and this Eagles team?
Yeah, well, my thing is, I definitely got sucked into the engagement trap on Twitter. I've been chilling lately, but someone sucked me into it. My whole thing is this: the MVP award in pretty much every sport, the 4 main sports, it is as much narrative and storyline based as it is performance based. It just always has been. If it was strictly performance based, we would have seen LeBron James win it about 8 straight years. We would have seen Steph have more MVPs, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady. But it's not. People like storylines. You got to remember, the people voting for these awards are human beings with emotion, and they put context into the situation. So I responded to a tweet that basically was scoffing at Jalen Hurts being the front runner for MVP. Now, in my opinion, I think he should be one of the front runners. Pick your poison. I think it's him, Christian McCaffrey, Lamar Jackson, and Dak. I think they're all kind of shoulder to shoulder, and when you're that close, you kind of start looking at records and head to head. So I took an exception to people laughing, like, why is Jalen Hurts being considered? Just look at his story. Last year, he had better numbers, and he was going to win that MVP award until he got hurt in Chicago, and he missed 3 games. Patrick Mahomes overtook him after Jalen Hurts missed that time. He follows up that year, and he's 10-1. And if you look at his last 2 years, he's only lost 2 regular season games. He has a bunch of signature wins against really good teams, and he has a bunch of MVP moments, which was topped off last week on that game-winning touchdown in overtime. It's a great story. That is why he is leading the MVP odds right now, and it's always been like that in sports. It's not a surprise. If you haven't noticed that, you just don't know how that award works. That's how these people vote for these awards. So it's pretty obvious to me why he is one of the favorites for MVP. Now, if Christian McCaffrey won it, or if Dak Prescott won it, I wouldn't be up in arms. They're having great seasons too. And Christian McCaffrey, that's a great story. But I wouldn't vote for Brock Purdy as an MVP because I don't even think he's the most valuable player on his offense. I think Christian McCaffrey is the cog that makes that engine go. And before they acquired Christian McCaffrey, the 49ers were a good team. Since they added him, they've been a great team. He is their guy.
Yeah, Jason, and when you talk about the Eagles, and I mean, it gets brought up every week, but it especially feels like this week, the battle of the trenches is going to be massive. And is there any way you see the Niners winning this game without us coming out on the other side of this game saying the Niners D-line clearly won that battle? Is there any way the Niners can win without winning that battle?
Yeah, I think they can. You know, the Niners and Eagles both have a really good defensive line. I think the Eagles' defensive line last year was much better. The Eagles have struggled in the secondary this year, and I think it's mainly because they just haven't been getting to the quarterback as much. Now, of course, last year it was at a record pace. They were 1 sack away from having the most sacks of all time in NFL history. So that was kind of different. They're still good, but they're not getting to the quarterback as much. So, you know, I wouldn't say the Niners have to win that battle. I just think the Niners, it's key for them to get out early. The Niners are really, really hard to beat when they get going early because they have such a good cadence to their offense. And when they get in rhythm, it's just like clockwork. They just drive down the field so methodically on people. So, but they get a little flustered when things don't go their way and the timing is off. That's why when Christian McCaffrey was hurt and Trent Williams was hurt and they didn't have all the pieces, Debo, you saw them struggle. You just did. So, but they're healthy. So I think their key is getting off to a fast start and getting that secondary or testing that Eagles secondary. I think it's actually more important the Eagles to get home than the 49ers to get home to the quarterback.
Talking to Jason Dumas, sports director, KRON, Cron 4 News. Also does work with 95.7 The Game, sideline reporter for the Santa Cruz Warriors. Jason, one more before we get you out of here. Who needs this game more?
Oh, it's the Niners, by far.
Yeah.
That's another reason why I think the Niners are going to win. The Niners need it more for a bunch of reasons. One, they kind of have to back up all the trash that they talk all off season. They try to play it off now. I heard George Kittle say the media likes to make things a bigger deal than they are. Like, dude, come on. Like, you guys made this a big deal. The media didn't, you know? All the offseason, you have one of your best players calling one of the Eagles players trash. That's not normal. You don't see NFL players really doing that. Call the guy trash. You guys were, you know, mics were in your face, so I'm not particularly blaming you, but every time a mic was in your face during Super Bowl week, you guys hooting and hollering, and we would have done this, we would have done that. Your guys are going to have to back that up. Obviously, it means more to the Niners in the standings if they want home field advantage, which they really wanted coming into this year. They didn't want to have to play a road NFC championship game. They'll have to win this one. They're not going to be able to get home field advantage throughout if they lose this one. And they're on extra rest. And, you know, they're a little healthier than the Eagles right now. They need to win this game. And I think also just from a mental point of view, the Eagles beat them after all that I just laid out on the line. You know, what do you think of yourself? Obviously, you're going to say publicly, the game will bounce back. But you're going to be like, damn, we kind of had the odds in our favor this week, and we still lost. So I think the Niners will win. They're a really good team. These guys are very, very comparable in talent level, but I think the Niners are a little hungrier than the Eagles. Eagles in the middle of a gauntlet, and they got the Cowboys next week. They just need to try to get through this stretch unscathed, maybe one loss. But the Niners, they need this one way more than the Eagles.
There you go. Jason Dumas, sports director, Cron 4 News. Jason, thank you for joining. Look, for anybody from the Bay or Sacramento heading out to Philly, I got to ask you as a Philly guy, and I know you won't say Pat's and Geno's, but where should they go to get that cheesesteak?
Where should they go? That's a good question. There's so many. I would say this. Go to Reading Terminal Market. It's right downtown. Center City, Philadelphia. You can get yourself a cheesesteak. You can get yourself a roasted pork sandwich, desserts, ice cream, Italian. It's a big, basically indoor farmers flea market type deal. And you have a lot of options. and you're right downtown, I'm not going to send these Niners fans into the neighborhood. I could be an accessory. So go to Reading Terminal.
There you go. All right, Jason, man. Have fun in Santa Cruz. Thank you for the good work, and we'll have you back on again soon. Have a good weekend.
All right, fellas. Thanks for having me.
There you go. Jason Dumas, sports director, Cron 4 News, also does work with 95.7 The Game, and also is the sideline reporter for the Santa Cruz Warriors.
How'd you rate his Philly cheesesteaks?
Have
you been there before?
Oh yeah, Reading Terminal Market. Okay. So they got the cheesesteaks popping. That roasted pork sandwich that he's talking about.
That got me.
That won best sandwich in America about 5-6 years ago, and I've had it. Very good with broccoli rabe. You got to check it out. My personal favorite, if you've been to Philly, it's called Ish Kabibbles. It is called Ish Kabibbles. It is very good. And on Creed, I believe that on Creed they go to Jim Steaks. That's another good one. There's a bunch of good ones out there for anybody heading out to Philly. Hit me up, I will, or hit Jason up. I will help you out, and he will help you out as well. Got to get to a break. When we get back, we have an update on Keegan Murray, and we also, I should have done that, Keegan Murray. There you go. And we're also talking Shohei to the Bay, Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings conquered the Thunder, the Spurs, the T-Wolves, and Warriors for an undefeated run through Group C of the in-season tournament.
Tough ball away, bank shot is good. The lead bump somehow banks it home. 7.4 seconds to go.
Now it's the knockout stage and a matchup with the New Orleans Pelicans.
Losers out. Winners off to Las Vegas.
Join us for Kings and Pelicans, Monday at 7 on Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
It's 1:16, which means it's time to remind you about the Light the World giving machine. Also, all guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Sacramento has a new tag team in the midday. It's Stiles and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. Thank you again to Jason Dumas, sports director for KRON Cron 4 News. There's a lot of good work out there. Also, giving you some ideas to where you should go if you're going to Philly to grab not just a cheesesteak, other types of sandwiches as well. Reading Terminal Market, you got to go if you are headed out there. Hit us up if you got any questions. And be careful out there, though. Jason said, be careful out there, though. We have some news, some injury news on Keegan Murray from our own Brendan Nunez.
Yes, Kings, I believe, are just wrapping up their practice for today, and our very own Brendan Nunez puts out on his Twitter/X account, Keegan Murray back, was a full participant in today's practice. They're waiting to see how he feels after today before determining his status for tomorrow versus Denver. And this is a little bit of deja vu all over again, if you will, as we remember, if we will, that Keegan Murray did practice. What was that? Was that before Tuesday? Was that even pre-Warrior game, or was that, I can't even remember with how many games and stuff there's been this week. But if we remember, Keegan Murray did practice earlier this week, and it did not ultimately lead to him playing in those games. But, you know, if you had to guess, this is more of the fact that he is fully participating in practice is obviously a huge step, but clearly what happened was the reaction to that. It's like when you twist your ankle or something. It's not necessarily about what your ankle looks like that day. It's what happens the next day when you wake up, how you feel. And if I had to guess, that's what's going on with Keegan is, work him out, put him through the ringer, and then tomorrow or maybe even just later tonight, they'll say, hey, anything, feeling tight,
right.
are you feeling loose or are you feeling good? How's it feeling? And then that'll probably determine his status for tomorrow. If I had to guess.
Yeah. And you know
Doesn't
what?
seem too serious.
I know people do this and I know people or teams don't do this, or if they do it, they don't say it out loud. But honestly, it would be a thing for me where I'd just keep an eye on Jamal Murray. I would personally.
Yeah.
I would, if Jamal Murray, if it looks like Jamal Murray, and we'll see if we can get an update on that as well.
Right.
If it looks like Jamal Murray is not going to play tomorrow, I would, hey, Keegan.
Right. Maybe,
another day's okay.
Maybe another day. Exactly.
Another day's okay.
We got a big game on Monday, right?
That's right. That's actually
now.
very true, because the Pelicans, they will be raring
Gonna
to
need
go.
it for that.
There you
It's
go.
an elimination game.
Elimination game. A little bit of feel, a little bit of tournament feel out there. You got to love it. You got to love it. It is a funny Friday. So before we get to Shohei, I just saw this story pop up, and I'm not really sure I don't know if it was actually an accident or not, but here you go. Adidas account calls Kevin Durant Dusty.
Yes, they did.
Meant to send it from the burner account.
I don't think
so. Kevin Durant is roasting Anthony Edwards' shoes, and he goes, "Won't ever see me put a big toe in those bleepers," right? Adidas comments, the official Adidas Twitter account says, "You Dusty, about to retire soon anyway." And then Adidas goes, "Meant to send that from the burner account." So great. I guess now I'm confused if they were trying to cover it up as a joke. And now it has me thinking, was it all part of the joke or not? Because obviously Kevin Durant is with Nike. Or do you think they actually got caught?
No, I think that this is a social media intern who thought that this was going to hit and then kind of missed and then probably caught some flack. And they were like, let's try and save this. Because I mean, to me, it gave big, how like Wendy's is kind of good at clapping back on Twitter.
Yeah.
It gave me that kind of energy where they thought, again, like they were going to make this big meme moment where, look at it. Like, this is a great Adidas. We turned this Nike athlete into Adidas marketing. And, I think it was just kind of a flop.
If you are going to flop, though, I do think that Kevin Durant is the right person to take a swing on.
No, it definitely is.
Right. Kevin's always on social media. So I thought just saw that pop up after the break, during the break. Yeah, so Kevin Durant got called Dusty.
You Dust. They said you Dusty.
The thing that made me think it might have been a mistake was that they actually spelled you just with a U. Like it wasn't spelled like it was.
Yeah, but maybe they're just trying to placate to
I think it makes
the
it softer,
audience.
it makes it a little bit more like
Bauta. They also said Bauta.
Yeah.
Bouta. You Bauta retire anyway.
About to retire soon anyways. It's so good.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You Dusty.
That's crazy.
About to retire soon anyway.
They don't really have much to lose.
We're not talking about Adidas right now.
Exactly.
They don't do that,
it's like
so.
KD's not signing with Adidas anyway.
No.
Like he's probably going to get a lifetime Nike contract anyway. So.
And they don't want him. He Dusty.
Yeah, he is. He Dusty.
Speaking of Dusty, Major League Baseball.
Oh, come on. We're trying to dust off Major League Baseball and make it exciting in NorCal again. And the Giants, according to Jeff Passan, the Rangers, Red Sox, and Mets were initial suitors for Shohei, but each team has seemingly turned their attention to other players. Jeff Passan goes on to say that the Giants' interests, I guess, in Shohei, or I guess their, the level of interest is unknown, which a lot of Giants fans are saying is a good thing.
Right.
Because, hey, that doesn't mean we're out of it. We're not being too loud. How many times have the Giants been loud and we're getting Bryce Harper, or we're getting Aaron Judge, and then they don't get them?
They sound scarred. is what it sounds like to me. It sounds like they're like, no, this is actually a good thing that we're not involved.
No, trust me. The fact that nobody's talking about us is actually good.
Actually great, because when they talk about us, it's actually bad.
We get Arson Judge, and we don't want. I have an Arson Judge jersey. I don't want to hear about it.
They're going to get Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, we're going to Shohei Ohtani. And now you have John Heyman, who also put out something yesterday. John Heyman is connecting Shohei Ohtani, Juan Soto, Cody Bellinger to the Giants.
My goodness. Do we have the Avengers music? My God.
Yeah, but the Soto thing is confusing because do you really think the Padres, I was like, well, you got our coach. We'll send you one of our star players as well.
They've done it before.
That's true. If somebody would do it. Well, we do have Kyle, the resident Padre fan in here. What do you think with Soto? You think, would they send him to the Giants?
Look, I don't know what's happening with that. Look, their owner just died. They don't really have an ownership group.
Yeah.
Their general manager is known to be a jerk.
It's a party there. Party in Petco, though.
Yeah. No, we were America's team for about 3 months. They've traded with rivals before. They sent Matt Kemp and Yasmani Grandal swap teams before. They've made trades like this before. They would trade him to the Giants. If
that
the
would be
offer's
nice.
right.
I like
that's the thing.
I like that is this, and don't get me started on my soapbox here, but that is the saddest thing about baseball right now, because, and we talked about it during the season, it is an electric time period. This man had 70 stolen bases, not Juan Soto, but there are really some crazy things happening in baseball right now, and nobody seems to care. Ronald Acuna Jr. Had a ridiculous, and I know, he knows when he can steal and things like that.
Bases are bigger.
We don't care. All right. The bases are bigger, yes. And there's the pitch clock. They're doing everything they can do.
Pick off or whatever it is.
And when we sit there and we name off all the exciting baseball players, what I've continued to say is you're always going to forget someone. And Juan Soto is one of those guys that I think a lot of people would forget. He's already got a World Series ring.
He does.
He's left-handed. You know what I mean? He's only 25 years old, right? And the Giants could have him. And honestly, Chris, especially being in Sacramento now, I guess that's a question for Sacramento Giants fans.
Right.
What would it take you? When were you going to Giants games during the even years when they were balling? And what would it take you to start going again? Because I know you haven't been going lately.
Right. Is it just as simple as success, or does star power matter? I think is really the question as well.
What was that, 2 years ago, 107 wins?
Right.
Was anybody driving out for that? Probably not.
I think some were, but I think the interest that the Giants are probably looking for, especially now with the A's completely or on their way out of town, like they're looking for a complete and utter monopoly of this area. I think you need stars. I think success is cool. Sustained success would be great. Of course, I think if you have, if you can convince the area that regardless of if it is these 3 stars or 2 of those 3 stars that are listed in that Heyman tweet, like, I think, I just think that even just big names, I don't think would be enough. Shohei is one thing.
Shohei's one thing.
If you bring Juan Soto and the team still isn't successful, I don't think that's doing it. So to me, success comes first. And if you have good play, I mean, I wouldn't say the Giants had tons of marquee guys during that championship run. Buster, of course, Lincecum and Bumgarner, and fans fell in love with Crawford.
The Panda.
Yeah, they fell in love with
King.
those guys. But, those guys became stars because they were on good teams. They weren't stars already that were on.
Hunter Pence he got the scooter. He's scooting around the city, and he was a character as well. Yeah, I think you need both. And we're seeing reports that Shohei, even with this is crazy. With his second, a lot of people don't, this is second Tommy John injury, contract around $500 million. Plus. If he did not, I'm just curious. That's the question. That question to me is going to go down with, if we're sticking just to baseball, if Griffey never got injured, right? Just if Bonds never, got caught or whatever it is.
Allegedly,
I didn't know it was in my locker, whatever it is, right? What would Shohei Ohtani's contract have been if he didn't get injured this past season?
Blank check.
Remember that movie from the 90s, Blank Check, when the kid gets a blank check?
Oh, I know.
Well, you're a little bit younger.
Yeah.
Like Kyle, I don't think it came out yet. Kid gets a blank check, and somebody I know on the text line or the YouTube chat, you know what I'm talking about. Kid gets a blank check. I forget somehow. I don't know if somebody passed away. Gets a blank check, and I think he fills it out himself. I might be butchering this. Long story short, he's about 10 years old, 11 years old, and he's a millionaire now, and he just hangs out with his friends, and then there are people coming to get the money, and he's chasing, you know what I mean? It's good stuff. Look at Blank Check.
The movie Blank Check came out in 1994. It has a 9% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
They don't know. Rotten Tomatoes, no. They don't know. 90s was a different time. Why would you read that, Kyle? 90s was a different time. Help me out on the text line. That was a good. Yo, that is wild.
IMDb 5.3 out of 10.
They don't know. They don't know
ball.
It was a different time. All right. Gotta go. Got to get to a break. When we get back, that's right, it's 1:30. What does that mean? Dog segment. And it's Kyle behind the glass today, so we'll have some fun. Your dog segment. Get your dogs in. It's a big game tomorrow. There's one dog that I'm waiting for somebody to pick against Jokic. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Two of the best the NFL and NFC has to offer meet Sunday in Philadelphia.
Purdy out of the shotgun, looks left, throws end zone. Caught! George Kittle in the back of the end zone.
It's the Philadelphia Eagles, owners of the top spot in the NFC, versus the San Francisco 49ers, who have had this game circled on their calendar for months. Join Greg Papa and Tim Ryan for all the exciting action Sunday at 1 on your home for 49ers football, Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Dirk Bedorn in the KCRA 3 Weather Center, and expect a mix of clouds as we go through the day today, with temperatures slightly cooler in the upper 50s to around 60 degrees, with an increasing chance for showers by Saturday morning. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Imagine taking a nice warm bath in your shower. Let us fix that. Right now, get that clogged drain unclogged for just $97. Bonnie. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696355.
This is the moment you've been waiting for. Hanley's Kia in Davis is bringing you an unbeatable deal on all 2024 Kia models. Drive home in style without breaking the bank. Introducing Hanley's Kia incredible leasing option for just $199 a month. Picture yourself behind the wheel of a brand new 2024 Kia, loaded with the latest features and cutting-edge technology. Whether it's the sleek Niro Hybrid with 54 mpg and EV6 with up to 310 miles, the versatile Sportage, or the family-friendly Telluride, at Hanley's Kia, you can also reserve your luxurious full-size EV9 with 3 rows that has the comfort of a stylish interior and the peace of mind that comes with driving a brand you can trust. Head over to Hanley's Kia today, located in Davis.
New 2024 Kia Niro Hybrid EX for $199 per month for 36 months after $7,999 customer cash due at signing plus $300 military customer rebate. 10,000 miles per year and 20 cents per mile after 30,000 miles based on sale price $30,545 and payment excludes taxes and DMV fees and any dealer fees. Vehicle ID number R5136138.
For a business to thrive, there needs to be a constant stream of new customers. This happens through strong lead generation. Did you know that lead generation is one of the most important tools of any marketing campaign? Let us help you identify your target audience and market your products and services to them. To get started today, contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results today.
Red Hawk Resort Casino is an entertainment experience like no other. We're the only place where you can play blackjack, then hop on an indoor car track. We're the only place with more than 2,000 of the hottest slots and a state-of-the-art 18-lane bowling center. And now with a world-class sports bar and a resort hotel to stay after you play. Is it any wonder we've been voted best over 100 times? We're Red Hawk Resort Casino, official casino partner of the Sacramento Kings.
At American Energy, their number one priority is making sure you and your family are comfortable in your home for the holidays. And that's why they're giving away a free whole home HVAC system to one lucky family in the greater Sacramento area. Now, if you or you know a family in need of being comfortable this winter, enter for your chance to win the American Energy Comfort Giveaway by going to the AEway.com today. You could win a free whole home HVAC system. American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. For official contest rules, go to the AEway.com.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton and Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton and Price in your corner. When you call Ashton and Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real live person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Live and local, it's Stiles and Watkins. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports. And now hold on a second. Taking you up to 2 p.m. because I mentioned something. If you're just joining us, thank you for joining us. If you've been listening, thank you for listening. I mentioned a movie, 1994, and I am the OG in the room right now because you have Chris Watkins, who has not heard of the show or heard of the movie. I was 4 when it came out, so I don't know why I remember it, but in 1994, I was 4 years old. So we got Chris Watkins, who doesn't know what I'm talking about. Nope. Kyle, of course, doesn't know what I'm talking about. So here it is, IMDb. After a bike accident, a young boy inadvertently gains possession of a check for $1 million and proceeds to spend it, unaware that the gangsters it belongs to are in pursuit.
What kind of gangsters write checks?
Hey, bike accident. I'm going to fire that up.
That sounds like
weekend.
A paper trail.
No, I'm going to fire. And thank you, 916-339-1140. You want to be part of the conversation. Thank you to the 916. I see you. Blank check was a banger in all caps. It was just a different time, right? The big green. Look,
who's like the main actor in it? Like,
I don't know.
Was it some kid actor?
Yes, it's a child.
I mean, obviously, right. Like, was there anybody of note?
It was the 90s.
Not even like a young Ryan Reynolds.
No, what are we talking about? I guarantee you, and I'm not
Culkin, like at least
he was doing a lot.
Like,
I guarantee you look up some of our favorites. Don't trust Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb for the 90s. I guarantee you they gave Mighty Ducks a bad rating.
Probably.
And Mighty Ducks was an absolute banger. I don't know if they've got 9%.
Right.
That's a little low for me. I might have to write in to IMDb and say, hey, you need to raise this up. All right.
Mighty Ducks has a 23% grade.
See,
on
man,
Rotten
that's
Tomatoes.
disrespectful. That's disrespectful.
It's not great. It's not
all right. Well, we're about to be hopefully disrespectful to the Nuggets tomorrow night as the Kings get it going. And it is time for the dog segment. We will not be in tomorrow, of course. So it is time for the dog segment. Kyle, haven't had you in a while. Let's start with you. Who is your dog tomorrow night?
So Wednesday's game wasn't great for the Sacramento Kings, right?
Not particularly.
No. But there was one Sacramento King player who had a positive plus-minus in that game. And last I checked on the box score, I think he had like a plus 10, despite the fact they lost by 20-something points. So I'm going to, I guess, double down on him today as my dog for Saturday. I'll take
Mr. Vezenkov.
Okay. Sasha Vezenkov is your dog.
Nice. Is my pick.
Yeah, he's been on a bit of a heater offensively and defensively. And, things are starting to percolate here for Sasha Vezenkov. I think there were a lot of expectations, right, when he came in. And we are a microwave society. We are a Hot Pocket society. Do you guys know what Hot Pockets are, Kyle?
Absolutely.
Do you know what a Hot Pocket is?
I used to eat Hot Pockets.
Okay, there you go. I just had to check these days.
A lot of Hot Pockets.
And we expect things to happen quickly.
Yep.
So when Sasha Vezenkov, it took a little bit, and we're talking 6 games here, right? And we're thinking, man, what the heck? We thought Sasha was going to be a big piece. It's starting to happen now. It's starting to happen. So I think that's a great pick. Chris, who is your dog for tomorrow?
I'm going to go with Domantas Sabonis.
Got to.
Talked a lot about, his how he matches up with Jokic. And there's the classic, Alperen Şengün is Charmander. Sabonis is Charmeleon. And Jokic is Charizard. Very much, very fitting. Probably like the most fitting basketball meme that there is out there right now. And I'm just looking at how Sabonis has performed against the Nuggets since he's joined the Kings. They've had some battles, man. 2 or 3 of these games are just absolute rock fights between the two. For the most part, the matchups have been pretty close, but I'm just looking at a couple of these. The first time they matched up, February 24th, 2022, 33-14 for Sabonis, 25-12 for Jokic. They played again 2 days later. Jokic 18, 10, and 11. Sabonis 14, 16, 7. Then last season, the only time they played each other was December 28th. The Kings won 127-126. Jokic, 47-6. Sabonis, 31-10 and 5. These two definitely get up when they play each other.
Yeah.
I'm expecting just these two to go at it. 2 Titans going at it. I'm going to say, give me a 20-point triple-double for Sabonis on Saturday.
Wow. Well, and Sabonis, that's 2 games now where he hasn't gotten close to.
He's been missing.
MIA. Yeah, because he around 19 points, right? 20 points. He hasn't touched 20 points in at least 2 games.
No, it's been he hasn't touched 20 points since the second New Orleans game. And yeah, I mean, his last 3 games have been really bad. Even that Minnesota game only scored 15, got 11 rebounds, but that's to be expected with Sabonis. His last 3 games I'm looking at here, he's averaging 11, 8, and 6 on, this is the killer because this is a guy who shoots 60% from the field. Last 3 games, he shot 35% from the field. That's insane. Can't have that. Domantas Sabonis, bounce back game against the best center in the league, maybe the best player in the league.
And he had to sit on it, right, for what, 3 days?
3 days
here
now. He's had to
think
stew
about
with
it.
those performances.
And look, we talk a lot about De'Aaron Fox and the Tyrese Halliburtons of the world and the other point guards that he's going up against. I think that just like you selected him as your dog, I think that Sabonis has that dog in him too. And I don't think, you have to have that confidence. I don't think he's got to go out there and say, I'm better than Jokic. Yeah. I don't think he's got to do
Flex
that.
on him.
No, we might see
small.
it. Right.
Come
my
on.
goodness. I pray that we see. I need to see something like that. But it's not fully national. It's NBA TV, so there'll be a couple more eyes on it. So I think that he'll come out. Sabonis will, and he'll have something to say about some people. Look, we did a chronicling the struggles of Sabonis just yesterday.
Yep.
Right. He is very important to this team. And why do we have to have a conversation like that after only 2 games of subpar play? Not even terrible play, just subpar, because of how important he is to this team. So you got Sasha, you got Sabonis. I kind of want to say if Jamal plays, I would go De'Aaron. If Jamal doesn't play, I want to go in a different direction. Okay. I don't know where I would go yet.
Feeling that Kentucky thing is really going to drive him.
But honestly, I might just go random here, and I've picked him about every other game. Kevin Huerter, please. Come on. Kevin Huerter. I think Kevin Huerter gets back on track. Really, we haven't seen an explosion from him since coming back with a finger injury, so hopefully he can get back on track. So I'm not going to go De'Aaron. I think De'Aaron's going to ball.
Yeah.
But I'm not going
to. It's almost too easy, too.
It's too easy. We're picking Sabonis because Sabonis has been struggling a bit, so to kind of get him out of it, I'm going to go with Kevin Huerter. It's been a little bit, and I think it's going to be Kevin Huerter.
Kevin Huerter.
There you go. 916. Sabonis is headed the way of Roy Hibbert.
What does that even mean?
I'm not sure, but I don't like it, and I'm going to take it as disrespect.
Yeah. Throwing a lot of big words out there. Yeah. I don't know what they mean, so I'm going to take them as disrespect.
I'm going to take it as disrespect. So those are your dogs. Let's see on the YouTube chat. We have a couple here. Obviously, some more Sabonis picks. Here you go, De'Aaron Fox as well from the 209, taking my pick, going with Kevin Huerter. And we have one from the 916 saying my dog is going to be the Monk Yard dog, Malik Monk. There you go. And look, you need a couple dogs if you're going to take down the defending champs. And don't let anybody forget it, because I think they like that. I think they like flying under the radar. Yep. So don't let them kind of just sneak in here. They got a game tonight against the Suns. I'm definitely going to check that out. I'm definitely going to check that out along with the college football, the end of the Pac-12, right, with Oregon and Washington. So a lot to get to tonight. Got to get to a break. When we get back, crosstalk with Kyle Draper and the high flyer Henry Turner, Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The showdown is almost here. This Sunday, the San Francisco 49ers have their shot at revenge as they head to Philadelphia to face Jalen Hurts and the Eagles.
Play action, deep drop, pressured right away by Young and sacked by Eric Armstead. But it was Chase Young that got him off the spot. Get in my belly.
The Niners have waited for this game all year, and it's finally here. Sunday at 1 on your home of the 49ers, Sactown Sports.
The 49ers Report, brought to you by E.B. Stone. E.B. Stone, for the life of your garden. The 49ers feasted on Seattle for Thanksgiving, dominating their bitter rivals on the road, 31-13. Running back Christian McCaffrey led the way with 139 scrimmage yards and 2 touchdowns on 24 touches. San Francisco is now 8-3 on the season. The Red and Gold have an extra 3 days rest before heading to Philadelphia for a pivotal NFC rematch with the league leaders Sunday afternoon.
Celebrating over a century as a family-owned business, E.B. Stone has gathered in valuable insights into nurturing plant growth. Venture into indoor planting with EB Stone's Edna's Best indoor and outdoor potting soil. Watch your little plants flourish into ideal indoor companions for the whole family to relish during the holidays. EB Stone's indoor and outdoor potting soil is a meticulously crafted blend of essential ingredients. Your plants will thrive both indoors and outdoors. Trust EB Stone for the entire lifespan of your garden. Explore more gardening tips, products, and find nearby locations at ebstone.org. Wishing you a season filled with joy and flourishing greenery.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. The IRS just rolled out a new program to help struggling taxpayers more easily resolve their tax problems. It's called the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, and it opens up powerful new options for people looking to get back on the right track with the IRS. And no one knows this program like the professionals at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution company. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients and have the expertise and experience to help you. One easy call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries of wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Make today the beginning of your fresh start with the IRS. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
If you're a luxury car enthusiast, Mercedes-Benz of Stockton invites you to experience the Mercedes-Benz of fully electric vehicles. And your first Mercedes-Benz electric car comes with bonus cash back of up to $7,500 and 2 years of prepaid vehicle maintenance on select models. Purchase or lease a Mercedes-Benz all-electric car and receive 2 years of complimentary charging. See our gorgeous Mercedes electric vehicles at mbofstockton.com.
Over the last 5 years, there's been a 25% increase in reported hate crimes. A hate crime not only harms the victim, but strikes fear into their entire community. Our community. The FBI is committed to combating hate crime and seeking justice. We're here to help. If you have been a victim or witness to a hate crime, dial 1-800-CALL-FBI or submit a tip at tips.fbi.gov. Protecting our communities together. Dial 1-800-CALL-FBI to report hate crimes. Sponsored by the FBI. Aired by California Broadcasters.
Yep, 'tis the season. Hi, if you're like me, you take pride in your gift giving. Well, I've got a terrific idea for you. Gift cards from the Good Feet store. Okay, so arch supports aren't exactly what they've been hinting for, but you know they'd love them. And with the Good Feet lifetime warranty, it's a gift they'll enjoy forever. Buy a Good Feet gift card now, and Good Feet will boost its value 20%. That's a 20% gift free from the Good Feet store. If you have someone on your list who's on their feet all day, has sore feet, knee, hip, or back pain, or even plantar fasciitis, maybe needs an energy boost, or just wants to maintain their active lifestyle, a Good Feet arch support gift card could be the perfect gift.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
Sacramento has a new tag team in the midday. It's Stiles and Watkins on Sactown Sports.
We are back. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, joined by our own Kyle Draper. And Kyle, I'm not even going to waste time. We had Jason Dumas on earlier.
Yes, sir. Our guy.
He started with, he went with Reading Terminal Market for the cheesesteaks. And we had some people on the YouTube chat even being a part of it as well, throwing out. Somebody said they were taking Pats. That was Aaron said they were taking Pats over Ishkabibbles, which Ishkabibbles is my number one.
That's your number one?
That's my number one. What is your number one?
You know, I'm a Max and Irma's guy.
Okay.
I'm a D'Alessandro's guy. Mm-hmm. I'm a Explorer's Den guy on the campus of LaSalle. It just depends on who you are. If I'm a tourist, I'm not sending you to Max and Irma's at Broad Neary. Mm-hmm. I'm not doing that. Because that's the hood, you know. I'm not saying, you know, you could go on South Street, you could go to Ishkabibbles, you could go to Jim's, Pat's, somewhere like that. That's a more touristy area. But for me, usually I'm a D'Alessandro's guy or a Max and Irma's kind of guy. It used to be a spot in West Oak Lane in Philly called Pagano's. That's what I had growing up on Ogontz Ave. Best. $5, loaded with meat. It's gone downhill, new ownership, so I don't even go there anymore. I'll drive the extra 10 to 15 minutes to go to Delisandro's instead of Pat's or Pagano's, which is right around the corner from my parents.
What makes a good Philly cheesesteak then? Like what's the thing that puts it over the top?
Bread is big.
Yeah, the bread is big. That's massive. It got to be soft. It can't be hard. The quality of the meat too. Let's keep it real.
Sure,
Let's keep it real. And I don't know about you, Alan. I'm not a cheese whiz guy.
I am.
Are you really?
I know.
Doesn't that kind of downgrade like the quality? Just like you can't have good cheese whiz, right?
Every time. I do.
No,
so when you go provolone?
No, I go American cheese.
Okay.
See, this is how you order it when you go to Philly. Yeah. I need a cheesesteak, American cheese, fried onion, salt, pepper, ketchup. Ooh. That's how you say it. Salt, pepper, ketchup.
You get ketchup on it.
Yes. You don't?
No.
What do you get?
I just go cheese whiz. I just go onions and cheese whiz.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, we throw the ketchup on it too, man. We throw the ketchup on it too. Yes.
All right.
You a chicken cheesesteak guy too? Okay.
Man.
All right.
I'll tell you what. When I went out there, you have a buffalo sandwich out here, right? But Buffalo is just much bigger East Coast anyway.
Right.
I never even knew. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. And I said, to this day, the one thing you could find a cheesesteak out here, but that's the one thing you cannot.
That's what I was going to say.
Nobody's doing chicken cheesesteaks out
Nobody's doing that.
Is there any does Jersey Mike's or is there anybody who makes something that's even like close to what you guys are looking for?
But that's when you're desperate. You
Right.
know, that's
what it feels
it's
like.
not the same. But if you're missing home like me, if I'm missing Philly, maybe I'll get it. I'm not doing Subway.
Right.
I'm not doing that. No, I can't. No,
But if you're me and you don't know any better, I will crush a Jersey Mike's chicken cheesesteak.
I didn't even know they served that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
So,
man. Get onions, peppers, everything.
There you go. So Jason Dumas got on me because in San Francisco there's a spot called Buster's, and I said, Buster's. All right, it's something else. Jason ripped me on social media. I should have called about this about 2 years ago. He goes, dude, I just lost points for you. What are we doing, man?
He liked Buster's? Or
No,
you like Buster's?
no, he did
said
not.
it
He
ain't.
said, Alan, come on now. We got to keep it real.
And you went to college in
I
Philly.
know.
You should know the
I
spots,
like it.
dude. Was
I'm
Owl's
looking.
Nest across the street still open when you were there?
Oh yeah,
The Owl's Nest?
Oh yeah,
That used to be the spot,
we did Maxie's as
Yep,
well.
yep.
So those were all the spots. So, and I heard you on the broadcast. I was a little bit surprised just because of the fan base. But you hit us. I was watching. You hit us with a Fly Eagles Fly on the broadcast. You're not shy about your fandom here.
Not at all. Because here's the thing, and I said it yesterday. Us Eagles fans, we could walk around the street. Pride.
Yeah.
Proud.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody going to say anything. And they ain't going to say anything next week after we whoop them up on Sunday anyway. And so I can't wait to get on this on the show with High Flyer coming up. But no, man, when you're 10-1, when you're clearly the best team in the NFL, you should be proud of that. And that's what I am, proud of my Eagles.
You worried at all about some of the close games that they've had, or a win's a win?
I think a win's a win. I think they're battle tested because they aren't close games against bums. They've beaten some of the best out there. They've beaten a Kansas City. They've beaten a Buffalo. They've beaten a Dallas. You look at their strength of schedule versus, let's say, the Niners or the Cowboys or some of these other teams. Eagles blow them out by far. And so you're going to have close games when you play great teams. Name me one good team outside of Dallas that the Niners have actually beat. And don't tell me Jacksonville. I'm not buying the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Got something there. You got something there. You got something there.
Jacksonville was supposed to be the hot pick, though. They were supposed to be.
But they're not really a contender, are they?
No.
Now the Niners have some coming up, though.
That was actually. I was going to say they lost to the Bengals, right? With Joe Burrow, yeah.
Is there anything about the Niners that scare? Like, if it's not going to go well for Philly, where do you see?
Well, the Eagles' pass defense is suspect.
Sure.
Like that secondary, banged up, not playing well. And so I think a Debo Samuel scares me.
Sure.
Not necessarily an Ayuk.
Right.
I think but a Debo is virtually unstoppable. The way they use him, the way they move him around. And so that worries me. I'm not too worried about the pass rush. I think the Eagles' offensive line is, pretty strong. I think Jalen Hurts, his escapability, his decision-making. I think it's going to come down to, can we get a rush on Brock Purdy so that they don't gash us in the pass game?
Yeah.
That's going to be key.
And you got Darius Slay, and that seems like it's kind of it. And
That's it. Right. He can't guard everybody.
No, you can't guard everybody. That's a problem when you say, I'm not as worried. You're not necessarily worried about Ayuk because they can guard Ayuk, but you still got to guard Debo.
Right.
That's the problem. That's a problem with the Niners and why, all the questions about Brock Purdy. Is it the weapons or is it him? Let's switch over to the Kings here and get ready for this game tomorrow night. It's interesting talking about the Nuggets and the fact that they're defending champs because you almost have to remind yourself, and I don't think it's the market, but it's the way they play, and Jokic is still a bit unassuming even though he's got multiple MVPs and a championship. Do you think that the Nuggets, do you look at them and say they could be a dynasty, or do you think, because we were comparing them to the Warriors, and it's, Michael Porter Jr., is he going to take the leap? Right. Jamal Murray, he's had injury problems. Jokic is generational, but are the rest of the guys going to be able to churn it out year in and year out?
No, and here's the reason why. We talk about the Warriors dynasty. Well, the Warriors added Kevin Durant. Now, if you told me Jokic and those guys were going to go out and get Jason Tatum, then I'm like, oh my gosh, how do we stop that?
That's a good point.
As presently constructed, I can't see it happening. I just think there are too many teams on the come up. I look at Boston right now. I look at Milwaukee, even though they're slow. Dame Lillard, I look at Phoenix. I look at OKC in 2 years, where they're going to be at. Mm-hmm. And so Denver, what worries me going into tomorrow's game is Mike Malone got them boys playing hard. Mm-hmm. They're hard, they're tough, and it's going to be a tough matchup for the Kings. But the Warriors dynasty doesn't become a dynasty if they don't get Kevin Durant. Right. And I think that was a big reason why. And so now if the Nuggets go out and get somebody like that, okay, then they got a dynasty.
Yeah, you cannot have whether we don't know. We're trying to figure out if Jamal Murray is going to play. Man, he rolls his ankle right after the hamstring. I mean, we were talking about injury luck, and some guys just seem to get the short end of the stick. But then, to your point, guys playing hard, they beat a Clipper team. Reggie Jackson, what is happening?
That's my guy, Reggie Jackson, man. But you know how it is when a star goes down. If I'm a bench player or reserve, I'm like, oh shoot, it's my time to shine. Yeah. I'm gonna show them, and that's exactly what he did the other night.
Yeah, you ain't got to get ready if you stay ready. Yeah, yes, well, I hope you are ready for the Drive Guys. There you go, right there. The Drive Guys with Henry Turner, the high flyer, filling in for Whitey Gleason, and our guy Kyle Draper. Thank you for listening all week. Enjoy your weekend. Until Monday, secure the bag, light the beam.
Harrison Barnes plays here.
Harrison Barnes drives it, hammers it, the black